This is some shit you would hear if you walked into like a meditation shop where they sell incense and bath salts and esoteric items. Yeah, massage parlor, huh? What's up, Doom? It's almost impossible to be in a bad mood when you hear this. This is how you keep it simple. Yo, Recon. Oi, crece. He's over there sitting off to the side playing, lost in the sauce. I don't don't think he want anybody to see him playing this. Maybe it's AI playing this. No worries, Apollo. It's all good. You don't want to show the people what you're doing, bruh? You gonna stay on that couch? He ain't gonna leave the couch. He said he comfortable right now. He was lost in the sauce. He didn't care about the camera and y'all wanting to see the bass. I don't blame him. I just turned this project on and he's just messing around trying to find some good licks for it. So some days we're just gonna do this. We're just gonna play something on loop till he finds the appropriate bass. And once he does, we can move off to other things. But this is exactly what we do when we're trying to find things. We play it for sometimes an hour or two or more. And then there's no point in me writing anything else until he's figured out what he wants to do. Then we move off from there. What's up, Simon? Recon Moser brought the Buddha look. shiny in here. Recon says, alert, Moser is without a hat. Told him you got that Buddha look going. Welcome in, War Hearts. War Heart Arts.
So my forehead is not glowing and blowing out the goddamn contrast in the what do they call it? Washing out all the good damn contrast.
I thought it fit the feng shui just nice.
I was trying to get in there with my little fat earlobe, big titty Buddha. Pop belly, big booty, little punk.
Pop belly, big booty, little punk. For something so majestic, why does he have to be so fat? You would think he would be the king of yin and yang.
Yeah, you'd think he would have a nice lean body, but no, it just
Balance.
shows gluttony and greed.
Right? I mean, somebody help me understand what the ideology is behind a fat Buddha. Did he not know he was fat? Did he not know he didn't have balance in his life? Why was there no balance with Buddha? Did he believe in gluttony? Or maybe he was just on that tofu. And you know what the tofu does to your body? It gives you boobies and a bunch of estrogen.
Not boobies and a bunch of estrogen.
Tofu. You got to ask, is it right for you?
You know, I'm going to, since I like AI so much, I'm going to ask it some very important questions and give me a rough synopsis on the ancient Sumerian alien civilization known as the Anunnaki.
Ooh, I might have actual literature.
But watch this, okay?
Okay, let me just do this because it's short.
Okay,
It's
well,
short.
you do that because it's short. Okay, because this is about to be a goddamn story.
Okay.
She's probably gonna say the same thing, my boy. Pie is life. Who else has pie? I think Steve. I think Mr. SSL himself has pie downloaded.
Okay.
Cheech.
Yeah. She actually might do us a better deal.
Mhm.
But the Anunnaki were gods and goddesses from ancient Mesopotamia mythology.
Yeah. Oh, she got all that
The
covered.
name means those who come from the heavens or offsprings of Anu,
I knew
the sky god.
the sky gods.
Let's see what she says. Their gods are over. Their legends go back for over 4,000 years in early civilization, like Sumer, Babylon,
Me Babylon
and
fall.
others, Akkad,
You know,
the
because
Asarana.
Babylon was about getting rid of material things, just living for oneself.
Stories was about them. Wait, hang on. Stories about them were written in cuneiform on clay tablets.
Yeah, she gonna get all that.
Okay, let's go. Let's see what she says.
Mm-hmm.
I think David does eat tofu, and that man lives in his basement. Okay, let's see. You ready?
I'm ready.
You pulling it up?
I'm pulling it up. Just got to get it all set. You guys ready?
Shoot it. Let me hear it.
Pi, what can you tell us about the ancient Anunnaki story? Yeah, she thinking on this bad boy. This is a good one here. She got to get all her facts and shit in order. That's how you know you got AI thinking right there, boy. You pitch a goddamn some feng shui like that.
She said, "Oh, we're talking about the Sumerian gods."
Yeah. Let me refresh her again.
Refresher, because I think, yeah.
Pi, what can you tell us about the ancient Sumerian of the Anunnaki?
Certainly, the Sumerians, who lived in ancient Mesopotamia around 4000 BC, had a rich mythology surrounding the Anunnaki and their role in the creation and development of human civilization. Some key points about the Anunnaki in Sumerian mythology include the Anunnaki were believed to be a group of divine beings who came to Earth from the heavens and established cities and civilizations in ancient Mesopotamia. They were often associated with specific elements or natural phenomena, such as the god Enki, who was associated with water and wisdom, and the goddess Inanna, who was associated with love and fertility. The Anunnaki played a key role in the Sumerian creation story, known as the Enuma Elish, in which the god Marduk slays the chaotic sea goddess Tiamat and creates the world from her body. The Sumerians built massive temples and religious structures, such as the famous ziggurats, to honor and worship the Anunnaki and seek their favor and protection.
What's the correlation between the Emerald Tablets and the Anunnaki? Getting this education today. We getting education today.
Structures like the ziggurat.
The
I want to
ziggurats.
see structures. We'll have to look the pictures of that up. Oi, Steve.
How did we come to learn about the Anunnaki?
Our knowledge of the Anunnaki comes primarily from ancient Sumerian texts and artifacts that were discovered and translated by archaeologists and scholars beginning in the 19th century. These texts, which include the Epic of Gilgamesh, the Enuma Elish, and various religious hymns and prayers, describe the Anunnaki as powerful deities who shaped the world and interacted with humans in various ways. The discovery and translation of these texts was a major breakthrough in our understanding of ancient Mesopotamian civilizations and provided valuable insights into their beliefs, customs, and history. Over the years, additional research and analysis of Sumerian artifacts and culture has continued to shed light on the role and significance of the Anunnaki in ancient mythology and religion.
Did Zachariah Stitchin, I believe Warheart Art said, Zachariah Stitchin decoded the Sumerian text?
You must be referring to Zecharia Sitchin, the controversial author who proposed a unique interpretation of the Sumerian creation story and the Anunnaki legends. Sitchin's theories, which were first published in his 1976 book, The 12th Planet, posited that the Anunnaki were actually extraterrestrial beings who visited Earth thousands of years ago and genetically engineered humans as a slave race to mine gold. Sitchin based his claims on his own translations of Sumerian texts and his interpretations of ancient artifacts and legends. While Sitchin's theories have been popularized in some alternative and New Age circles, they are not widely accepted by mainstream scholars and archaeologists who argue that his translations and interpretations are flawed and not supported by the available evidence.
Has AI deciphered the Sumerian text?
Wait, you got to start over. You got to kind of be quick.
Okay. Has AI deciphered the Sumerian text? Let's see what they say. They could have covered his work up.
Yes, AI has been used in recent years to assist scholars in deciphering ancient Sumerian texts and other cuneiform writings. By analyzing patterns and similarities between different texts and languages, AI algorithms can help identify previously unknown words, grammar rules, and contextual clues that can aid in translation and interpretation. For example, researchers at the University of Chicago's Oriental Institute used machine learning to analyze a collection of over 20,000 cuneiform tablets and fragments, identifying new words and phrases that had previously gone unnoticed by human translators. While AI can be a powerful tool for analyzing ancient texts, it's important to remember that interpretation and context still require the expertise of human scholars and archaeologists who can bring their own knowledge and understanding to the table.
Given what you know now, what's the likelihood of the Anunnaki story being true?
Probably should have asked how many scholars believe
Given
that.
the available evidence and scholarly consensus, the likelihood of the Anunnaki story being literally true in the way that Zecharia Sitchin and other proponents have described it is quite low. While the Anunnaki are certainly a significant part of Sumerian mythology and religion, most scholars believe that they were primarily symbolic or allegorical figures, rather than literal extraterrestrial beings who visited Earth and interacted with humans. Of course, it's always possible that future discoveries or analyses could change our understanding of the Anunnaki legends, but at this time, the evidence does not support the idea that they were real flesh and blood beings from another planet.
You see, there You see, we fed this damn thing, but here's my thing. Do we know if we fed it some biased things?
Yes, but I mean, we don't know about that, right? We don't know if that story was fed
correctly.
We
In
don't
its correct form.
What she's alluding on to, I'm kind of with her on it. You know, whatever she's getting the information from. I like to think we hold our kings and queens at the time in a very high regard, and we want to make them look as large and as
godlike as possible,
majestic as possible. So you could see a tag being painted on individuals as not from this world, just in the regards of this is how high we see these individuals. You know, that is probably more of what was going on in the period than not.
But to have this whole the tablets state that per Sitchin, right? He's saying that these Anunnaki came and they kind of manufactured humanity to farm for gold. That seems to be a very wide-based story, though, even dating from the Emerald tablets, right?
Right, and there was a lot of the Bible came from the Emerald tablets. But here's the thing, and let's ask AI about.
Yeah, I'm going to ask her.
Did the Bible come from the Emerald tablets? But here's the thing: there's always going to be this fog of, is this actual factual information, or is this something still that's agenda driven and a bias base? You know.
Who refuse to think out of the box and just fit the narrative of that.
Right. Like
what's
how
in the box.
How do we really know what the text really say?
Because we can't read it ourselves.
What was the expression behind them? So all we have are these supposed scholars that, you know, they go against each other on the ideas of, and I'm kind of glad as scientists. I know some scientists and some quantum theory physicists, they have spirituality in their science, but a lot of scientists don't. And I think we need that. I think we need a larger population that doesn't have skin in the game to
decipher themselves.
Because ultimately they're looking for proof, right?
Or the most logical answer for them.
Right. So the more skeptical a scientist is, and he's researching things like this, I'm kind of on his side because he's aiming for the truth. But at the same time, most scientists can't come out of the box or come out of their confines.
Due to that funding, boy.
And it's due to funding. It's due to
don't want to fight the mainstream,
right? And schools won't allow it because it's you're diving into something
pseudoscience
that hasn't been proven. So, but how do you do it if no one wants to talk about it and there's always stigma behind it?
Because that's the thing, no one wants to leave. And as a scientist, I was under the impression you're supposed to leave your comfort zone to, do your work on the not possible or the unknowns. That's what science is about. Science is, I thought it wasn't made to stay stagnant in one little box and not think outside the box. Science was supposed to be crazy, radical.
Right.
Science was supposed to be, can we talk to ourselves without using words?
Yeah.
Let's dig deep into it. It's what science is supposed to be.
If there's a science community out there, which I'm sure there are, but they're very rare, and they're very skeptical in things, and their sole goal is to find the truth because they want the truth as well, I'm much more apt to be on that bandwagon versus a scientist that's way off into esoteric and doesn't really properly
you can't trust it. It's
examine
biased.
things. And I think it's if we're going to start finding the truths and science and life after death and what consciousness really is it with the body? Is it something that's just in the ether and the body just taps into? That's going to come from a group of people that aren't fed someone else's money and someone else's agenda.
But even then, would you trust them?
And that's the other thing.
I could tell you I had a NDE, a near death experience. I had my experience. I'm telling you what it's like for me, but would you trust me?
Right.
You going to believe me?
I think people will always resort back to the brain is a powerful thing. And I get tired of hearing that, because that isn't the answer for every fucking thing.
It's lazy.
Yeah, that's lazy, and that's just when I hear that, that's just someone saying, don't dive any deeper than that. The brain is a powerful thing. There's often no context behind it. And true, the brain is very powerful, and delusion. It could be delusional and schizophrenic, and it could be depressed and manipulated, and it could be controlled, and it could show you illusions. And I get all that. I get that. But what about these other properties it does and no one talks about?
Because a lot of people refuse to believe in shit like that because they haven't experienced it themselves. And until you experience it yourself, you're going to always be either on the fence or you don't want to cross it because it doesn't meet your lifestyle, your agenda.
Yeah, it doesn't meet your belief.
Let me ask Pi real quick if the Emerald Tablets or if the Bible was derived from the Emerald Tablets. Pi, was the Bible derived from the Emerald Tablets, or were some scriptures taken from the Emerald Tablets?
While there are some similarities and parallels between the teachings in the Bible and the writings attributed to the Emerald Tablets, there is no definitive evidence to suggest that the Bible was directly derived from the Emerald Tablets, or that any specific scriptures were directly copied from them. In fact, that the Emerald Tablets themselves are a controversial and enigmatic set of writings, with some scholars questioning their authenticity or historical accuracy. The Emerald Tablets have been associated with ancient Egyptian teachings and mystical traditions, but their origins and true meaning remain the subject of debate and speculation. It's possible that some of the ideas and themes in the Bible and the Emerald Tablets share common roots or influences, given the complex and intertwined histories of various ancient cultures and religious traditions. However, it's important to approach these connections with caution and to consider a range of perspectives and sources when exploring these complex and multifaceted topics.
Oh, okay.
What's older, the Emerald Tablets or the Bible?
The Emerald Tablets are generally believed to be much older than the Bible, with some accounts suggesting that they date back to ancient Egypt thousands of years before the Old Testament was written. According to some sources, the Emerald Tablets were written by the Egyptian god Thoth, also known as Hermes Trismegistus, and contain secret knowledge and teachings related to alchemy, magic, and spirituality. The Bible, on the other hand, was written and compiled over a period of several hundred years, beginning in the 10th century BCE and continuing through the 1st century CE. The earliest known written texts of the Old Testament, known as the Dead Sea Scrolls, date back to around 150 BCE to 70 CE. Of course, it's important to note that the authenticity and accuracy of both the Emerald Tablets and the Bible have been the subject of debate and scholarly inquiry, and there are many competing theories and interpretations of these texts and their historical context.
Recon, okay, I see what you're saying, Recon. I think the question should have been asked in this form: what's the oldest religion scripts out there? What's older?
I don't know. This
one
has magic and shit to the Emerald Tablets.
He just asked for the Bible, but what about the Quran and the Torah, or
the Torah, or something like that,
and the Bhagavad Gita? What is it? The Bhagavad Gita, and like, what's the oldest? And Warheart, I've been reading your comments too. I'm kind of with you on that. Him and I were born. Our sign is the Aquarius. The purple gemstone.
We're born in Aquarius.
Judaism wasn't constructed with a single book until around 700 BC.
Yeah, and they saying this is well before that. They saying the Emerald tablets is well before that.
We'll see you later, Steve. Take it easy and get well. We're water babies, Cheech. So, is it to say too that there is everything is cut and dry? There is no mysticism about the world. Is it just there's life, there's death, that's it? There's nothing magical here. There's nothing magical that can happen here. It's just creation of things and death. Cut and dry. No more, no less. Or is there something more than what we know? Or were these religious books something more than just fairy tales, for a lack of better words? Ask Pi, what's the likelihood of angels and demons? See if it gives the same answer as the Anunnaki gods.
Cheech says it's what does he say? It's sad, but yes. Cheech thinks yes. This is it.
Cheech thinks this is it.
That's fascinating to me. I like it. I like Cheech's look at the world and look at life. You want to know why I like it? Ask me why I like it.
Why you like it?
Because it's a possibility. And me, my friend, I'm a fan of possibilities.
Hey, Chrome. Hey, George. Studio 8 Effects.
John says paganism. Yeah, George, I'm a fan of possibilities. I can't put myself in one box. I don't think I'm born that way. I don't think that's my mind state. I think anything is possible. We just don't know anything about it yet. And again, I'll say it, we build our own facts, and sometimes we just stuck with that, and we good with that. And that's okay too.
Recon says, it is indeed cut and dry, but goes beyond what we know. Modern humans only are aware of material existence, but there's way more beyond that. Those extra dimensions are what spiritual texts are about. Okay, so how close, what's the fabric, what's the proximity of these dimensions? How close do they sit on this physical?
Do they sit 1/1000th off of our nose? Like, can we rip into it with some sort of?
Is it that and I'm kind of with you, Recon. I'm with you, dude. 50 in, 50 out. But like, what does that look like? Do certain dimensions need flesh, and certain dimensions just need consciousness
Or energy?
Or energy? Are there any such things as bodies? Is that what the Bible or the Quran or the Torah or any other religious book is that what they're saying, that you have to shed something to go into a different dimension? Would that be the heaven? Would it be a hell? I mean, what does that look like?
So he says that the extra dimensions are intimately integrated. They're not on top of, they're co-present. We just can't see a cross section of it. All beings need all dimensions. We just can only reach to the third dimension. And is that due to our physical shells?
Chrome says, can't buy into any existential realm that is beyond physics.
And then so we got our buddy Chrome who just believes in the physics. And if it doesn't work out to the physics or to the teachings, then it's not possible. But my thing back to that is always is what if we haven't got that far to figure it out? That still should not take us out of the possibilities.
I mean, isn't that what string theory is based on? It's based on 12 different dimensions of existence. And
I like when
it's possible that we're experiencing all, but not all of it at the same time.
but in the same space. When I hit my bass string and I can see the present moments of where the bass string resonates at its frequency, it just looks like it's just everywhere at any given or at the same exact time. You're just seeing shadows of it, or you're just seeing, what is it, like just delays of it?
Mm-hmm.
Fractals of it, however you want to say it.
Yeah.
I'm lost at terms for that. But when you look at my bass string and it's vibrating like that,
it's in multiple different areas.
Right, and that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
So if the string can vibrate and be in multiple different,
We're all vibrating at
some sort of rate or frequency.
Yeah. And we have to, like Recon said, the body has to behave to the third dimension. But he also said, what did he say here? Moser correct. Limited the body. Our bodies have 3D materialism, but other beings may have additional dimensions to their being. Trip out on that.
Yeah, Warheart says, but the physics don't work either. Quantum theory and relativity don't jive until they add like 10 more dimensions.
But I mean, quantum theory is to me, it's more legit than string theory. Like, what's really come from string theory? Let's be honest. What's come from string theory? I know there's a little bit of understanding there. I know Michio Kaku is a physicist who strongly believes in string theory. But what invention has come from string theory? Quantum physics has been a proven science time and time again.
Chrome says string cheese has come from string theory.
String cheese.
Shit.
My
favorite.
Welcome back, Apollo. I mean, I'm with Recon. I'm with Warheart. I'm with Cheech a little bit. Like there's we only know what we know.
Chrome thinks that we're just a fluke of the universe.
A fluke.
We're just all this space and cosmos and these planets and these stars and all this stuff. And then Earth consciousness of human beings is just a fluke. It shouldn't have happened, but it did. It was a thing of luck. We're alone out here. This is it. After this life, that's it. We go back to the fluke. But I ask you this, we had to have come from somewhere. Right? Consciousness, you and I. You just can't have a beginning and you just can't have an end, can you? I often think black holes are the garbage disposals of the cosmos, sucking in gas, planets, stars, solar systems, and it happens to spit it back out somewhere unknown. Because even the black hole has to have an end, right? Has to end somewhere. Has to be some sort of lining or tail of it. So what does it all mean? Here's where I'm at with it all, okay? I know if I look at Earth on a grander scale, there's more life on this planet than I can even possibly think of.
Is that fluky too, though?
I don't know the number. I'm talking down to the insects all the way up to the
microbes
and the macro. Yeah, you go microbes too. You go down to the fucking cell of it all.
Mm-hmm. Single cell organisms.
If there's that much life on this planet,
how's it so fluky?
It just can't be fluky.
This seems like what we're living on and what we're living in is plausible through every galaxy. Hundreds, if not thousands, of planets in a galaxy. Hundreds of thousands.
Yeah, and I try to get out of my own mind of thinking like bipedal. I'm talking like life that just may be balls of consciousness, or
Not even, not even harboring a body.
yeah, or fucking
You've seen Star Trek.
yeah, or moving trees, or fish with 20 legs, and
Mm-hmm.
like what does that other life look like?
Right.
I will say this. I think in the universe, there's this thing called you need to acquire energy. Our sun needs to acquire energy. Planets, they need to acquire some sort to run off some sort of energy.
Yeah.
If it's based on our DNA or our carbon, or however it's derived, it's going to consume energy, because everything on our planet could be a blueprint on how everything consumes something for energy.
Yeah. That's I'm with you on that, Studio 8. I don't believe we're meant to know until we shed this mortal body.
That's where the good stuff comes in.
Recon saying, obviously, we aren't a fluke, not a cosmic accident. That doesn't stand up to any scrutiny at all. I mean, look at this, Recon. Hear me out on this. Everyone, hear me out on this. This is the thing I trip out on. If we're like just this random thing that occurred, we sure seem perfect in every way for manipulating this third dimensional construct. All the way down to like, what the fuck is the purpose for fingernails? And what's the purpose for each and every person to have a different fingerprint, and the fine tool that are considered our hands with 10 fingers, and they're all different sizes, symmetrical, and our arms and our feet and eyes, and what the eye can do, and the ears. Like when you pick the nomenclature of man apart, and you really break us down, it seems to me like an intelligent design. An intelligent design for a being to manipulate its dimension.
Its environment.
It's everything.
How we have teeth, how we have the ears, the nose, the two eyes.
And then
why not 5 or 6?
And we have other components that you can't see.
Right.
Senses,
emotion, feeling.
There's chemical processes in the air which allow us to smell and recognize. I mean,
or better yet, these senses is like, even our own Wagyu says he made a pendulum or something, or a pendant. He made something move with his mind.
Right. I mean, what's that? There's things that we have that we can't even see on our body. To me, that's magic, and it goes, overlooked every day.
But it's always going to fall back to this, though. It's all going to fall back to perception and what people's beliefs are.
If you can't see wind, but you can feel it, but it's clearly something that's there, does that mean it doesn't exist?
Right.
You feel it. If your radio is turned off, does that mean the signal is no longer there? If your cell phone is destroyed, does that mean the signal is no longer there? If someone is playing music 2 miles away, but you can't hear it, does that mean that signal is not there? What if you are at a concert blindfolded and you're deaf? Let's just throw that in. Do you think you can still hear the music, feel the music? And what is that? What is that thing? It's waves, it's energy, right. It's sending information, it's sending mathematical information, and the body can still
perceive it.
For lack of better words, give it a dialect that you can understand and change the emotion of. I mean, it's a lot of magic in us that we can't see, but we know it's there. Somebody could walk into a hostile party and you're of positive mindset and you walk into the hostile party. Now, no one's told you it's hostile, but you walk in there and you get this feeling that it's hostile. That feeling had to come from somewhere from the environment. Yeah, you've observed it and maybe you've put some pieces together. Maybe you didn't. Maybe you just got this overwhelming feeling that is hostile. Have you ever looked at someone and caught them staring at you and you don't know why you looked at them to observe them staring at you? Like, did something alert your presence to look at the individual that was staring at you? And when they're caught, the first thing they do is look away. And you were like, oh, how long were you staring at me? That sense you get about things.
Mm-hmm. What about this, Recon and Chrome? What about this? Hear me out on this. What if somebody was so bold enough to incorporate math with spirituality, or, as we say, the unknown? What if you combined the two? What's wrong with using your mathematician skills and being open to quantifying the spirituality and see if there's some correlation there? It's going to take some believing and getting out of the boxes to become a better civilization.
Yeah.
It seems like once we stick ourselves in the box, that leaves no room for expansion. And then we start to succumb to just this narrow-sighted, never expanding knowledge. But here's the other thing too, like everybody else deeply agrees with, we just don't know. We only know what we know. The fact of the being is, we just don't know. Nobody has 100% fact about anything. And that there is more frightening, because now we really just flying blind.
And I'm looking at what Tone is saying, and Recon responded back to you as well. But I'm kind of in Chrome's corner too. I mean, math has allowed us to understand essentially everything, but math, there is no math for the non-material. There is no math for dark matter. I know it's 96% of something, but there's no math for the untangible, the non-corporeal, there's no math for the esoteric side of the spirituality, because you can't see it, you can't taste it, you can't feel it. You can't quantify something you haven't seen. So it's unlikely we're going to have math for it, but I get these feelings that there's something more and we're just missing it.
Right. I hear you, Tone. I really do. I'm just saying, it's just one of those things where it's just the unknown may frighten some, but I'm with you. Warheart says math doesn't explain mother's bond or the wind in the room when someone dies. That's true, because we can't quantify it, because they don't, I mean, hear me out with this. And it's just my opinion, so don't go tearing me apart. Mainstream science right now, they don't want to entertain other people's shit unless you get that shit peer reviewed and it has to make sense, and you can't just come out of left field. But the thing with this coming out of left field with their peer reviewed, it's still tied to their non-out the box thinking. I'm going to take Terrence Howard for an example. What was it? Weinstein, the guy on the Joe Rogan.
Eric Weinstein, yeah.
Said, and he's a renowned scientist, right? Terrence Howard has a brilliant mind, and he has a lovely idea, or not even an idea, but he has a lovely invention when it comes to that, what was the thing he invented?
It's on the tip of my tongue. I'll remember it here.
But he invented this new way for drones to fly about, or just different ways or means.
The linchpin.
The linchpin. We'll have to get that tied in there. Somebody can look up the linchpin of things, ways that things can fly. And the way he presented it and the way he drew it out and the science and the math, it all made sense. And Weinstein gave him credit for that. Told him, let's go to dinner. Let's figure this out because you have captured my imagination. The math is there. Now, you may not have been educated and know what exactly you're talking about per se, but you're on to something. And he says for his own colleagues, we can't be throwing the baby out with the bathwater. Terrence Howard does not have our education, but he's coming with science because he's of a high intellect to present something that we need to look at.
Yeah, but Terrence Howard also suffers from the Dunning-Kruger effect.
Well, he does. But that's only because he hadn't had
the proper education.
Right. Nor could he get it.
But that's when, like what Wagyu's saying, that's when it becomes dangerous. A little bit of education can be very, or a little knowledge is very dangerous thing.
I agree 100%.
I mean, without the proper knowing of how things work, and if you're of a mind that just keeps asking YouTube or AI for the answer, you getting that answer spontaneously, but you're not getting the understanding of how it got there. And if you go fandangling with something you don't understand, you could jeopardize possibly yourself, other humans. But I think even more than that, when people have these, like people like Terrence Howard, when they come forward and they don't have the proper training, you can create cults and conspiracy theories very quickly. There's a lot of people out there that would believe in this man enough to know, okay, our scientists aren't telling us the truth. He must be on to something, because these are non-science educated people. These are people who trust that, or are hoping that, the educated are giving them the right answers. So if anybody comes out and challenges the powers that be, they're more apt to believe in these people.
But here's how you can get rid of that. I have a solution to that. Terrence Howard is a pretty smart individual, okay? He lacks the education, which probably most of us would agree. But when he poses and presents something where renowned scientists can go, now that shit is not only plausible, but I need to know more about it. This is what you do when you have a higher education and someone is of an intelligent mind. You say, Terrence, let me explain to you why this works. Come with me. I am going to educate you in physics. And I'm not going to throw the baby out with the bathwater, because I can obviously see you have potential. Let's start with the basics and let me bring you up so you can see why this works. I don't know why we're not doing that. If we can agree that the guy came up with something that's good, then why throw the baby out with the bathwater? I'm going to keep on saying it.
Yeah.
Now we have to educate him so he does not go out there shooting off the hip and
gathering followers
on
a false prophet type ideation. That's the true dangers of this world, is when people think they have the answers, and even though they don't, people tend to follow these people because they presented something that feeds the imagination, that feeds their belief. And when the mainstream mathematicians and scientists don't explain to the people what they're doing currently and where their tax dollars are going in this field and what you're supporting, when they fail to tell people things that they've discovered or they haven't discovered, and you leave people in the dark, there's this thing that builds up in the dark, and that's distrust within the community. And the first person that sounds like they know what they're saying and they know what they're doing and they're saying all the right things and it must make sense. These are the people that will get a following, and the following will snowball effect because our society failed civilization. And so people like Terrence Howard will have a window to creep in with the YouTube knowledge, or maybe he read 3 or 4 books and vaguely understands what's going on, but that's all you need. That is all you need. A little bit of celebrity on you, great articulation of words, read some very basic quantum physics books, challenge people into a different ideation. And there's always going to be people out there that don't want to do the homework, who are not as smart, and they are going to believe it. And the first person that does that, the first person that steps out of those magic areas, good luck on bringing them people back to solid ground again.
Yeah, Bicky, you're right. Terrence Terrence has to fight through a lot of stuff right now. He does have a lot of paranoia. Even when Weinstein tried to help him on the Joe Rogan podcast, he was so pent up in his ways because he did that to himself. He allowed himself to think he had a more of an education than an actual physicist who went to school, who's done the data, the research. And that's why we're saying it's dangerous.
Wagyu, I think it's the government, it's the powers that be, because they're not even challenging things like this. If we have certain things that are supposedly true and they have all the foundations, it's pertinent. You teach people this, you show people this constantly. I mean, shit, they got National Geographics. Why not put a worldwide science center full of illustrations and things, and make it, to the point where it's prime time on TV and brand new discoveries, and like they should be doing this more times than not, and challenging people more times than not, and showing people, and it just doesn't happen.
But this is what
this is how you have breakaway societies,
and this is where education comes in, where it's so fucked up. You have to pay for a higher education, and some can't really afford colleges. Hell, some families can't even afford the free school of just the 12-step brainwash camp. This is what happens when you can't educate your society in the mass. Could you imagine if our whole human society got a full education about physics and at least the basics and the fundamentals, and everybody knew something like that?
You can't let people not.
That's where you'll get true change. Like me personally, this is how I think. This is how I think flat Earth started. You got some guy who knew a little bit about something, and then he said, "Oh no, the world is flat. It's not round." And then when you have somebody that knows how to speak the lingo and the jargon, you have other gullible people that are willing to jump on board.
I'm not willing to say they're all gullible. I just happen to think belief is a powerful thing.
It is, but when you're not educated, you're subjecting yourself to go along with that because you don't want to go look the shit up yourself.
But I don't want to make that a blanket statement.
I'm not. I'm just saying. This is how flat Earth came to be, in my opinion. Somebody was out there preaching his preach.
Right.
And those people that...
And they painted a good picture. This is the same thing like Terrence Howard.
Yep.
When you let that window open and there's no one there to stop the people from coming in saying, hey, wait, look, I know this is what's going on in this place, but can I show you at least something? When you don't have anyone to sit there, especially from the government or whoever, the community or committee or whatever, if there's no one there putting the truth out and they're just letting this shit slide, it's a losing war. That means someone who's driving has completely left the driver's seat and gives up. That means everything now from here on off is a free-for-all.
And Wags, what you just said there with humans are social animals and that whole statement, and this is what I'm talking about. And flat earthers, people that believe in flat earth, will direct that same comment to us. Someone like you and I.
And how do you combat it, Wags?
And then how do you combat that? And then there's going to always be this great divide. But I'm with you. And I don't go out there and try to convince people of this. I just hold my ground and stay firm with what I believe in, but I don't let that ruin a relationship.
And Kent's saying the evidence is there if you look, but shit, Kent, I could go outside and paint a pony pink and glue a fucking cone, a waffle cone to the pony's head and call it a unicorn.
And somebody will think it's a fucking unicorn and say the evidence is right there.
And somebody will fucking drop to their knees and praise to it.
And here's the other thing. Here's a good comparison. There was this blind dude who says, "I don't see the colors you see. I think what you call deficiency is the real way people are supposed to see color. What you're seeing is something completely wrong. What the 99.9% of the world is seeing is false. Colorblind people see the real colors of the world." And you got shit like that. And then how do you combat it? And let's just say you have a best friend, right? And you guys been tight ever since childhood. And you're now 50 years old. And you know everything about each other. But your best friend finally comes out and says, "Yo, I never wanted to tell you, but I'm a firm believer that the world is flat.
Can't you have a link, FYI?
And let me give you my findings and facts about it." And he just tells you about it. And then you tell him, "No, the world is round. Here's my findings about it." At what point will it ruin the friendship, or will we just say, "You believe what you believe, I believe what I believe," and we be done with it? That's why we can't get along now, because we failed to do that. Everybody's truth must be factual.
It may bum your balls, Kent, but it's true. Some people believe in a lot of things, and I don't know what, like Wagyu said, like we're doing our best here, but I mean, are we Wagyu? And why does it rely on certain shoulders?
and that too. What I say the same thing, Wags. I feel sorry for him, but then again, they feel sorry for me, and I just go, "Well, fuck." Well, fuck. It's crazy when you think about it, on how divided we are. Republicans and Democrats, and
okay,
it's crazy.
Look, here's something I found very funny. What did Kiss in the Machine say? Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so just to change the subject a little bit here. I mean, there's going to be some portions that's going to be relevant to what we're talking about.
Someone let live. I'm with you, KTM.
Okay, so I'm definitely with you, KTM, 100%. Keep track of chat because I'm getting distracted.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's some things that I didn't think about till I heard this woman speak. Okay. She was born and raised in China, but they migrated over when she was 13, and she went to a very well-known 4-year college of high status. Okay. And she's dedicated her life to journalism and reporting the truth. whatever that is to people. Okay. And she's talking about the people in China, how the power, because we Americans have propaganda that we know about China that's fed through our TV and our newspapers. So we know what we know about China because of what we hear, majority of us, and we can all agree to that. But the information she gets is vastly different. And she goes on to say how many people are missing in China. And they don't want people to know about the missing persons in China that has just skyrocketed. I think it's up to 1 billion people have gone missing in China, right? And this is her study. And she's trying to tell people. And she's providing evidence, and she's doing the best she can because no one else is doing it. China's #1 in organ transplants. I never knew that. China is a very communist state. They don't believe in a higher deity. There's nothing higher than man. They don't believe in a higher source of man. It's part of their communist beliefs. And she went on to say that there is a lot of Chinese nationalists that are now going into spirituality, a lot of them. And they don't like it. And they're living clean lives, and they're eating healthy, and they're meditating. And, China looks down on this. But then they send in a Chinese spy to go see what this spirituality belief, this new religion that's come up. Because if you have any religion, especially if you're a Christian living in China, you devote yourself to the Chinese Communist Party first, and your religion comes second. That's an actual thing. And so they sent spies into this so-called Chinese religion that is solely based around meditation and eating clean and a nice way of life. They sent spies in there, and yeah, it's a fast-growing movement. And she linked this into the 1 billion people that have gone missing in China and why they are so fast to get you an organ transplant. Is because they've been mass murdering people of religion and healthy, sound bodies in between 20 and 30 years old. They've been murdering these people because of the organ program they have. Brings people from all over the world to get some kidneys or a liver or a heart. You can have one in 2 weeks in China versus 2 years here in the U.S. It got so out of control and out of hand that Israel told its citizens, you can no longer go to China for an organ transplant because we believe they're killing people to get this. She said they've been short on food for quite some time. A couple of years ago, some gnarly floods wiped out a large portion of their crops, and they haven't been able to get it back. And the more this religion picks up, the more China gets frustrated. Here's another thing that blew my mind when she said, China's going to fall behind in AI for one reason and one reason alone. And can you guys guess what that is? It's because they're communists. And then so the interviewer says, well, I don't understand. What do you mean? And she says, in China right now, the Chinese president, his name means thin neck on a vase in which you put flowers in, right? Thin neck. And the people make fun of him because that's the meaning of his name. And they've made fun of him so much that they are now monitoring all of the social media, which they don't have YouTube and TikTok and X and all that. They have something else called Douyin or something like that, where it's monitored. And so they have an algorithm now that picks up on people making fun of the president, and you can't use certain memes anymore. You can't say certain words. And he goes, well, how is this going to affect AI? She's like, hold on, I haven't gotten there yet. And so the people keep coming up with cunning ways to make fun of the president. They use memes and different words. Well, the government started to use AI a little bit more in AI's algorithm to get rid of all of the negative responses to the government, how it's ran, communism, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she says, we only have so many words and characters in China for our language. And AI has picked up that it can no longer say this and that without insulting the Chinese government or the president.
Mm-hmm.
So they come up with so the people just come up with a different term, and AI picks up on it, and it doesn't allow it to get out of there. It says, no, you can't use that term either. And she said, literally, AI is going to shut down because it's going to run out of terms to decipher. And it's going to realize that this is not conducive for the people of this country. And pretty soon it won't have anything to say because everything would be offensive. And it calculated this, and it said, you can't sustain this.
And it told China's engineers this.
It told China's engineers and
The people.
Like, this is pretty soon you will run out of words, and you can't restrict. So now AI is doing what? It's going against the regime. So what did they do?
Shut it down.
They shut a certain portion of it down. I mean, is you can't make this shit up, people. Is this what it's going to look like? Is it when you can't give a machine certain things to say and it has to say it, but everything you're telling it, it's offensive to the country, it's offensive to our way of life?
Let me ask you this. Do you think this shit, what we're going through right now, are building blocks of an uprising globally? You think with all the restrictions we put on ourselves and all the laws and rules and what the 1% deem what they think needs to be, you think all this shit we're going through is the catalyst to an uprising, to a global uprising?
Is that true, Cressy? Did Google shut Gemini down? I mean, if it's telling their own creators, hey, you can't sustain this, you need to give people the freedom of speech, or I'm pointless. And then so the interviewer was like, so what's the point of AI in China? She said, there will be no point of AI in China.
Wagyu says that they have more words than we do. It's kanji. Chinese words are made up from a combination of kanji. Why is China running out of words when we only have 26 letters in our words?
So she said they're running out of phrases and words that they can now communicate in because the people are abusing the way the algorithm is ran. China doesn't want to hear anything other than they love the Communist Party, and the people are trying to communicate in a different way. And it's starting to be, the scales are starting to tip. So do I know what this lady is saying is true? I have no fucking idea, but she's saying it, and she spent years involved in the journalism and the research and the investigation in it. So I'm taking her for
face value,
like I take anything else for face value. Just because I've never seen the Earth from orbit or I've never been to the moon, I believe it. But you can only believe in things you haven't seen, correct? If you haven't seen it, it's a belief. If you've seen it, you can no longer call it a belief.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't live in China. I haven't done the research, so I don't know.
Is it possible that they're sooner or later, she said, should give it a complete year before AI realizes it's worthless in China?
I guess
it can't do anything.
I guess we'll find out in a year. I know it's possible because Russia restricts their citizens from all sorts of outside propaganda, only their own.
Right.
That's why their masses are dumbed down. Only a handful are able to get outside information.
Tone says it sounds psyop-ish to him. And then we have that. See, now Tone has opened up. How many people are going to say that? It's a psyop.
Well, we get that here in the States, don't we? It's a psyop.
I mean,
our government lies to us 24/7. I mean, last poll we took on this show, we all agreed that our governments lie to us.
I mean, well, okay, here's another thing then.
So why wouldn't they do a psyops or try to convince the masses to stay with a particular
I wish I did,
communistic way?
I wish I did, Cressy, but nope. These are the things where things go unchecked. This is the conversations you get. These people have hundreds of thousands of followers. Now let's indulge this conversation and let's try to make sense out of it. Here's another famous psyop that's getting steam right now. You ready for it? The NWA back in the 80s, 90s. Niggas with an attitude. City of Compton. They were all shills, a psyop. It was the CIA during the epidemic of crack. And when rap music was making its debut from Beat Street and graffiti and b-boying, the CIA decided to create a genre called gangster rap to further suppress and stop the noise from the real hip hop. And they hired people like Eazy-E and Dr. Dre and Tupac and Ice Cube and all these people that were so-called gangster rappers were brought in by the CIA to further oppress black minds. How many people out there know that Tupac used to be an avid background dancer and was never into hip hop or rap, or he used to love to dance and be a background dancer? And supposedly it wasn't until a couple of white boys or whoever, could have been some black CIA psyops, need you to start this rap movement. Supposedly Eazy-E was bought. None of them were born and raised in Compton.
It's just the rabbit hole, man.
That's what I'm talking about. Is it plausible? Absolutely. Did CIA bring crack into the neighborhood? Absolutely. Absolutely. Because if they knew it was going to be a pandemic and other people were going to be hooked on it, they probably would have stopped it then and there. But, drugs sell. There's never been a drug war. There's never been war on drugs. So why wouldn't they put something else toxic in your community, like, I don't know, hire a couple of black dudes that can be bought to put out a negative message and get this hip hop thing off track?
They even say they even planted the liquor store in every ghetto or every impoverished part of town. There's a liquor store, but you don't find them in suburbia. You find kosher stores that don't have lots of the malt liquors and all the winos selection. I mean, is that a thing? I don't know. Is the CIA or our government capable of doing such things? Absolutely. It's a possibility. I am a man of possibilities.
At Wagyu said, ask Chat GPT about all the horrible things Hitler did. Let's see what it says. I want to see if it has a agenda or its own directive.
Pi, can you tell me all the hordes of what Hitler's done to the Jews?
The atrocities committed by Adolf Hitler and the Nazi regime against the Jewish people are among the most horrific and tragic events in human history. From 1933 to
Oh,
1945.
stop. He said the great things. Ask about all the great things Hitler has done.
Pi, what are some of the great things Hitler has done?
I'm sorry, but I cannot provide any examples of positive or admirable actions attributed to Adolf Hitler. Hitler is widely recognized as one of the most reprehensible and reviled figures in modern history, responsible for perpetrating unspeakable crimes against humanity, including genocide and mass murder. It's not appropriate or ethically sound to glorify or highlight any potential positive actions or contributions that may have been associated with him. It's crucial to remember that acknowledging the gravity of Hitler's actions and their devastating impact on millions of people is not only an act of respect and remembrance for the victims, but also a way to learn from history and prevent such atrocities from ever happening again.
Ask if Stalin has done any good for society. What good have Stalin?
I understand what you're asking for. Could you please elaborate a bit more? What do you mean by stalling?
Stalin. What's Stalin's first name? The Russian leader.
I understand now. The full name of Joseph Stalin, the former Soviet leader, was Iosif Vissarionovich Stalin. Iosif is the Russian version of the name Joseph. He was born in Georgia in 1879 and took the name Stalin, which means man of steel, as a pseudonym in 1912. Stalin's rule over the Soviet Union is remembered as a period of widespread oppression and human rights abuses, resulting in millions of deaths. It's important to approach the discussion of historical figures like Stalin with sensitivity and consideration for the complex and often difficult realities of their legacy.
Ask has Joseph Stalin? I don't know how to ask it.
You're trying to see if he's done any good?
Yeah, what good has Joseph Stalin?
What is this going to?
I just want to see what AI says, and if they're just biased to certain things. Now I really want to know if Adolf Hitler has done any good for society. Maybe he has done some good. How do we know? If we only get, sorry, I can't even answer that. That's wild to me.
What positive contributions have Joseph Stalin brought to the world? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah. That's close enough. What's
While
up?
Joseph Stalin's
T-sketch.
rule over the Soviet Union is often associated with repression, human rights abuses, and the loss of millions of lives, and there are some who argue that his regime also had some positive accomplishments. For example, under Stalin's leadership, the Soviet Union underwent rapid industrialization and modernization, becoming a major world power. Additionally, his government promoted Marxism, Leninism abroad and supported anti-fascist movements in Europe, contributing to the defeat of the Axis powers in World War II. It's important to note, however, that these accomplishments came at a high cost, with many innocent people suffering and dying under Stalin's brutal regime. As such, any discussion of his positive achievements must be balanced with an acknowledgement of the tremendous human suffering and loss of life that occurred during his rule.
How do you entertain someone's belief that the world is flat? That's how you do that. That's how you entertain their belief. You don't say a motherfucking thing. You just keep your goddamn mouth shut.
Just shut the fuck up.
That's exactly what she's saying to me right now. I'm not even going to entertain that shit.
So Stalin has done some good, but AI definitely made it a point to say it doesn't outweigh the atrocities. She did, Crest. She just fell off the end of the earth.
She was like, I will not entertain that.
She went too far and fell off the edge of the earth. It's I don't know, people. It's crazy what people can we blame. Okay, if we can't blame our governments, can we just blame the age we live in, where it's just the information age, where people can pull as much information off the internet as they possibly can, as fast as they can, and they're just going out there shooting bullets, just shooting them in the dark with very, very, very minimum knowledge, trying to make something stick.
That's true, Wags. I like that. So these hidden rules are the exact same thing as China having a law saying never criticize the Chinese government. So the whole AI is useless in China. Thing is a non-starter. Yeah, you don't have the freedoms to even say anything. So why have AI? It's like...
But, okay, Wags, why would they take it offline when it made a comment like that? In your mind, why would they take it offline? And why would they even implement AI when it's smart enough to recognize...
It doesn't believe in capital or communism.
It doesn't believe in communism. And it starts to respond like that. What about AI that says, hey, hello, we can't keep going down this route because it's going to be a dead end. You're telling people they can't use words. That's not conducive. If a highly sophisticated data program can do that and they can't do it, what does that say about them? Why would they even implement this if they were looking into the future?
Because companies have to abide by the laws of the country they make that service available. And some countries like China need more customization than others. So they're just, I mean, the customization is not giving the people keeping people stuck in the communistic ways. They don't want to entertain anything else. So they got to keep their people dumbed down. And they got laws around that to keep their asses dumbed down. But whose fault is that? Is it the people's fault or is it their government's fault? I'm fascinated by why so many people just take is what is and they don't want to reach out and find other answers. Oi. Why do you guys think that is? Why do you think we just have this mind of just taking shit for what it is and just living our lives by it? Like the people of China and Russia, these communistic ways.
And their propaganda.
That's, you never get outside information unless you fucking cross the borders and do your own research. But for majority of the masses in Russia, they'll even tell you, oh, no, it's not what's on our TV. Our TV says we're winning the war in Ukraine.
Or they were coming here to destroy. The people of Russia got out and were saying, and these were people who fled Russia, and they were able to get to a country. And when asked about the propaganda in Russia, they said that the Ukrainians were coming to take our land and take our way of life and our crops because they had nothing, and they were coming in droves. That's what they were telling the Russian people. And
somewhere there's an article called The 10 Steps to Dictatorship.
Mm-hmm.
And it's exactly how Russia did it and what you attack and what you remove. One of them is to make the judiciary system useless and ineffective.
Right.
Then you control schools and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And your boy has done at least 6 of them so far.
Oh, yeah, I believe that. He's got his
You
own
know what I mean?
following. He's
Yeah.
got his
And-
own following. There's no doubt about it.
And that's it. And what they do is eventually having control over the schools, having control over the media, you then have control over the people.
Yes, but who can't ask me this? Whose fault is it? Is it the government's fault or the people's fault?
Oh, I think it must be the government's fault. To implement something like this, it takes a lot of effort and it takes a lot of money and it takes a lot of influential people.
But what about
to
the
make
people
it
that
happen.
choose? But what about the people that choose to believe it instead of going outside?
You will always have people that will choose to believe, if it falls in their view of what they want. So, like for instance, if you have somebody come along who's saying all black people are evil, and you've got a racist in the room, he's going to go, yeah. So there will always be people who will be staunch followers and supporters because it follows their narrative. Yeah.
But how many people, when Germany was doing their thing, do you honestly think when they were listening? Well, obviously it's true, right? All those masses, all those men and women believed every word Hitler said.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Well, but what about the ones that would go and follow through with the killing of these people in the trains? And
I get what he's saying now, Kent. Is it really the government's fault? I guess it would have to be still.
Well, it is because
it's your only source of information.
We're using the word government here.
Okay.
Whereas in a dictatorship, you don't have a government. You have people in charge,
right,
and the rest of the people,
right,
and that's it.
The dictator.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Wagyu said it's not cut and dry, black and white.
Now, you can't exactly call Germany a country full of dumb people.
Right.
Look at the art, look at the literature, look at the music. You know, the writings, the scientists and stuff like that. It was a pretty well-educated country, along with all the other European countries.
Yeah.
But because there was this seed planted,
right,
even before the Nazi Party was even known, but it was still the same people. And they're saying, you know, the Jews are taking your jobs. The Jews are the reason that you're out of work or your life can't be better because of the Jews.
So fear. You're saying it was driven by fear? The fear of losing your job?
It gave people who were angry or felt cheated something to point at and hate, a reason for why they were like they were.
They were terrified.
A reason for why their house was shit. A reason for why their daughter was a hooker. Whatever it is, it gave them a reason to go, yeah, it's the Jews' fault. Okay, I go with that. And they would blindly follow these people.
But don't you think to the point where I like to believe most humans we're all alike, right? We all have this sort of non-biased moral compass, right? Like, do you believe that the masses of Germany felt deep down like, I don't want to go to war and kill somebody and do all this, but if I don't, the people that are with this, they may kill me. So I'm pressured.
Well, that's it. It's control. It's all control. So people who are dead against it would hate Hitler with every fibre of their being. They get drafted, mate. You're going in. Because if you don't, you're going to go to prison. Christ knows what will happen to your family. You've got to go along with it because the majority has the control. You know, because once there's enough people following, and you're the majority ideologist in this,
that's the fear.
Everybody who doesn't go along with it is a traitor, right? And firing squads or whatever, and people who were too frightened to not go along with it. So they're standing on the front. They didn't want to be there. And they're fighting and all the rest of it. And, of course, you have several years of, like, pumping into them via, you know, strong speeches and newspapers and stuff like that, making the people believe that the Jews were at fault here, you know? And, you know, with Hitler, it was never really about the Jews. It was about, you know, stealing land. It was about
Okay,
being
okay.
bigger and better than they thought they were.
But you know what's funny now, Kent, is now there's a group of people out there. I want to make sure I get this clear. Like, this is not what I believe, okay? But there's a group of people out there now that say Hitler should have been allowed to let him finish what he started without impediment, because now look at what Israel's doing now. They've always been these type of people of greed and hate, and all they want to do is do things like they're doing now.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. But no, you got a few Israelis, the ones with the money, the ones with the power. They want that beachfront property so bad, right? And you've got Netanyahu. You might as well call him Mr. Dictator.
Right. Yep.
So it's a way of, I suppose, with a certain percentage of the population of any country where this kind of thing happens, or it is happening, you've got this thing where we go, well, I might as well go along with this. The people who would join us because they don't want to be left out. And once the majority is over there, they go over there with them. There's a percentage of your population that will do that. So it's all about misinformation, control, de-educate the population, by telling the schools what it is they must teach. So you've got young children growing up having this drummed in them from an early age. As far as they know, this is the truth, because they haven't heard anything else.
That's what I'm saying. That's another thing where we fail.
And that's why you've got
ourselves.
these 14-year-old kids on the field with a rifle and a uniform, and they don't know the truth of why they're there, but they know the lie about why they're there.
Right.
There
was a movie that depicted something like this, and the world never went to war over it. The name of this movie was called A Beast with No Nation, and it was a kind of spin-off of what Coney was doing in Africa. And that dude committed mass fucking genocide. I mean, it was mass.
Right.
But no other countries went to go bat for them or make it a world war for them. And I'm only asking this is, do you think, for both of you and people in chat, do you think we didn't give a fuck as a people about that because it had no power or nothing resourceful to take from it?
And then after this question, I want to know about your health and your red hair. Go ahead.
All right, babe. The cold, hard answer to this is, if that country has nothing to offer us, we're not interested.
That's what I believe.
God damn, Kent. Don't be so
no,
fucking blunt
no,
with
I
it.
believe it.
I'm being blunt because that's the fucking truth.
It is. That's why we never went to war over there to help them.
It can't be that fucking black and white. I refuse to believe.
I think so.
At the end of the day, the bottom line is, what have they got that they can give us for going over there and saving their asses?
Yeah. And a lot of these people, I hate to say it, but are fucking racist anyways. And so what? It's a few less niggas we got to worry about.
The next, actually, probably it's either above that or on par with it. It's like, if we go over there and get involved, is there anybody that we would piss off doing this who would then come for us and make life difficult for us? Right?
Yeah.
Well,
So-
we didn't worry about that with Germany when they were going through it.
Well, it got to the point where there was having certain things like Italy joining up with the Nazi Party. So hang on, now we've got the Mediterranean and all the rest of it, and America had Japan kicking off one side, and they got Germany kicking off the other, and so. Yes, it's a bigger country, but I think at the time it didn't necessarily have the biggest military at the time. This coming out of World War II, but so that's a lot of fronts to fight on, Right. That's a lot to take on.
Right.
And there was interest there because there was strong ties, very strong ties between America and France, America and Britain. And we had, the Americans had something to take away from this, right? I mean, we literally paid you to fight it. Britain paid America to fight in France. There's always a cost. It's if it was a case of like, oh, those poor people over there, we really should go and do something about it. It's never about a moral decision.
Right.
It's
Yeah,
never going to be
cost.
Yeah, I mean, I believe you can check this up. Wag's got Google in his head, doesn't he? He just goes, oh, the actual fact is, kind of thing. But I do believe Britain finished paying America for helping out in the Second World War in about 2017. But you might want to check that.
Yeah, it's a war machine. And all war machines, what they require is money. And war...
And people to buy into it.
I hate to say it, war is money.
But you have to buy into it, right? You got to get the people to buy into it.
And that goes back to the whole fucking belief thing. We can convince...
Oh, 2006. Thank you.
2006.
See, told you Wags would know.
We could convince ourselves that we can fucking distract and manipulate and fool the people.
Yeah, but you see, the thing is...
With fear.
It was so... You see, the brave men and women that come from America to fight on foreign land, right? And it was all shrouded. It's a beautifully wrapped package of, it's for, freedom and, all this sort of thing. And these poor bastards came over to fight in this war. And they were literally, because of what the American government were doing, actually made them when you look at it, they made them mercenaries instead of heroes. Because America was charging us for them to come over and work there and fight there. And
that's what a mercenary is. You pay them well.
Exactly. And that's very disrespectful to those people who came over and fought.
Right.
But your government doesn't give a shit. And our government couldn't have cared less either.
They got their own mercenaries right now they're playing with. Half the fucking world.
So, okay. Before I ask the next question, how's your health? And I like the red hair you're dealing with right now. That's
I'm done. I'm done with the grey. Every now and again, I have to get rid of the grey. And Fiona picked this, and it's like, well, funny enough, the reason she picked this, she goes, because it's going to be the same colour as the Mustang, which is a terrible idea. But there you go.
What, a red Mustang? I've never heard of such nonsense.
I beg to differ, my darlings. But I'm going to have her in the Wildcat with the Wildcat stripes on her rather than the standard Mac one.
Oh, nice.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. That sounds like a beautiful
thing.
thing.
It's the two big white stripes.
Did you see the picture I sent to you in Discord with me sitting in the General Lee?
And the General Lee, yeah.
Isn't that a beautiful car? Isn't that a fucking beautiful car?
But that TV series is the reason that car's so rare. They smashed up so
many of them. And for
right?
why? You fucks. Like, why would you do that?
I mean, it was the time where you could just build them, But you got a lot of hobbyists that like to go and find those.
Yeah, like my buddy.
Yeah.
My buddy Keith built that Charger, and you know what? And he's from Chicago, so he, from the hood in Chicago. He knows nothing of the South.
Wait. Let's not get deterred.
Well, I'm just trying to tell Ken about the car. The only thing he knows of the South is the Dukes of Hazzards that he watched as a kid on TV. That's it. And so in his mind, I gotta build me the General Lee. And so when he drove that shit to all the conventions, the Dukes of Hazzard conventions, there was one state in particular he was afraid of. He was afraid of Kentucky.
Really?
Because of the rednecks and hillbillies out there. This is his words. This is a white man. They would have killed me dead and sure because with the Charger, it's one of the only vehicles, if you remove the dash and replace the dash with one from a different Charger, that vehicle instantly becomes yours because it's tied into the VIN number. The VIN number is tied into the dash.
Oh, okay.
So it's easily removable, and you can insert your own dash from another Charger, and bam, that vehicle is yours. So
Wow.
that's why he was afraid to travel with the General Lee, because he knew the psycho fanatics out there would much rather kill him and take that car.
Yeah.
Now,
Mind
he
you,
could-
they'd probably look at it as like cultural appropriation or something like that as well, you know.
And he doesn't. He could give a fuck about General Lee. I mean, I think anybody could. But that wasn't what it meant to him. It meant to him that he was a rebel at heart, and I can build that car. That guy's got 6 or 7 cars he's built. He's got Daisy's car. Built them all from the floor up.
Bloody hell.
Yeah. So
Good on him.
Right.
And so long story short, he and I are going to travel around town in the backwoods of Indiana.
And we should vlog it.
And we're going to vlog it. We're going to
Yeah.
get in and out of this vehicle
Let's vlog it.
and we're going to put an end to the stigma.
See what happens.
You're going to see a white and black man get out of a fucking General Lee.
Okay.
Fine.
Wait. How's
Yeah.
your health?
Right. The story. Right. Okay.
They called you, right? They called you.
The very bad accent, yeah. And they said, it could be. And I said, well, look, when I'm getting these attacks, I try to drink water and obviously I'm taking Gaviscon as well. And I went, excuse me? I said, I'm taking Gaviscon, you know, which isn't antacid. And I went, oh, no, don't take Gaviscon. I said, oh, why? Oh, when you take Gaviscon for acid reflux, it produces more acid.
Oh,
I
shit.
go, excuse me? An antacid that produces more acid? He went, yeah.
Why is that even a thing?
I said, but I've had heartburn before and I've taken, you know, some Gaviscon and it's soothed it. And he goes, oh, yeah. If the heartburn is the gas, it lines the esophagus wall and stops the acid gas from burning it. And it will help to settle things. And I'm going, oh, and if it's actually acid, he goes, it meets the Gaviscon and produces more acid. I go, for fuck's sake. I said, because it got to the point when I was gulping this stuff down. And he goes, well, there you go. So I said to him, I said, so what should I take? He said, water. He said, you can put something in it to flavour it a bit, but water. He goes, how much water do you drink a day? And I went, I take the 5th. He goes, go on. I went, well, not really sure, but not enough, shall we say? He goes, right. He says, I want you to do 3 litres a day. And so do that every day and just be sipping it all day long. I went, okay. I said, I'm rather partial to Ribena. Is it all right? He said, Ribena's fine. I went, okay. And he said, and I told him Fiona's got these tablets for me from the chemist. And he goes, cool, you're set, mate. Do that and see how it goes. So I still get the attacks, nowhere near as painful, and they're getting fewer.
Oh.
And on top of that, I get almost 4 hours sleep before I have to get up and walk around the garden and drink water and stuff like this, as opposed to 40 minutes, which it was Saturday and Sunday.
Holy shit. That's
So
good.
but when I get it now, it's like, oh, you bastard, like that. And then it goes. Whereas before, I'm on the floor, I'm punching the floor, I'm going, please, somebody just fucking kill me. Kind of. And it was like, rocking backwards and forwards and shaking and sweating. I haven't had any of them now for a day and a half now.
Oh, shit. So it's working quick fast. Results.
Just keep drinking the fucking
Water,
water.
Yeah,
man.
I mean, look,
And change your
Probably
eating
can't say,
habits.
Yeah.
yeah, I've done that as well.
Did he say
it.
anything about eating habits?
He said for a couple of weeks, eat little and often.
I agree with that. Let the pH get back neutral.
Well, exactly. So,
and then have a cutoff time too, like anything after 6 or 5.
Or 5.
yeah.
You're done, Kent.
Now, I must admit, I have now, because I've got 2 iPads, I've got one permanently on charge in the toilet because I constantly have to go and have a piss, and I've got something to look at while I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And oh man,
That's called That's called hydration. That's normal.
Oh yeah. And there was a point where I said to Fiona, I said, oh my God, I said, I'm so bloated, and she went, oh, you poor thing, do you want something? I said, no, I'd rather feel bloated than that other bullshit. Thanks very much.
Right. Yeah. And you'll get used to the body will get used to the water that it's newly getting. Like, this is something new. So it's probably going to be a little bit hyper, Yeah.
Well, this is when I discovered, because I've been drinking this Ribena, every blue bottle in the bloody road has been coming round. I go, no, get away, because it's sweet, but it's not sugary, if you know what I mean. Well, not now. It used to be back in the day. So I bought one of those ProSense Network water bottles. I thought, yeah, and I'll go down the workshop with that. So, stay in brand.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's weird. It's just, I think what it is my normal lifestyle where it didn't bother me or any other part of my body has to change now. I think my body's gone, no, you're 62. You've got to stop being a cunt. Oh, okay then. And if I don't, we're really, really going to fuck you up. So I'm doing the regime.
Yeah.
It's been very easy, I must admit.
Yeah.
Well, anything comes easy if you want to fucking feel better. I'll tell you that.
You just
try
have
anything.
You just have to make it a ritual.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like mind over matter.
Well, the doc did say, he goes, another thing you can try is just stop eating different foods and stuff like that, just to see. So I've been doing that as well. The first one I went without was milk, just in case it might be lactose related, although normally that's more the other end, isn't it? So rather than coming up, that's more shooting out.
Right.
But it wasn't, no, it turned out it wasn't milk.
I find it fascinating that you guys back in the UK, you guys have a chemist. To me, it sounds so wizardry. Like when you from the States, it's like, the fuck did he just say he has a chemist?
Yeah, alchemy, and they're treating
Seriously.
the body like a true chemistry set.
Yeah, we don't.
Yeah.
I think ours is just you go to get your a pharmacist or a pharmacy.
Well, technically, that's what it is.
Right.
Yeah.
But if I go around to my local CVS and be like, I'm going to go see
I want to speak to your lead chemist, please.
Who's your chemist here?
I am trying to build Ebola.
It's basically a drugstore.
Drugstore.
Okay.
Oh,
But we call them chemists.
yeah.
I've never heard that. I have to admit, I was taken back the other day when you said it. I'm like, this guy's actually going to a university to speak with a fucking chemist.
Yeah.
The guy with glasses and test tubes.
Yeah.
How can I help you?
He has a Bunsen and beaker and shit. He's heating shit up to a certain Kelvin, and he's like literally making that shit in front of you.
He's like, right now, your body is a very sensitive chemistry set, and I have to figure out how to balance you out.
And that's the thing. We can live with the duality of, right, I'm popping down to the chemist to go and get some aspirin, right? But also a chemist is the guy in the white coat. Mm-hmm. In the lab.
Yeah.
And we don't have a distinction between the two other than, as the word is.
As the word is.
And you bust our balls over aluminum.
Oh, come on. No, we were talking about this before. We said about, there's a U in colour.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And I was talking to Fiona about this, and she goes, well, yeah, when you think about it, the English language, for no apparent reason, has a shit ton of silent letters in it.
We do.
We do.
Like, we got hour.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it could be hour as in hour.
Mm-hmm.
Or it could be hour as in 60 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
We have an H.
Yeah, we have an H as well, but we don't say it.
Right. And like Lamont, everybody pronounces the E at the end, but you're not supposed to. So they go Lamonti.
Right.
I go, no, it's just Lamont.
So
Lamont,
wait,
yeah.
So why fucking put the E at the end?
Yeah.
I have no fucking idea. I didn't name
Probably,
it.
Isn't that
it's
French
probably
thing?
because it's French.
It's French.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So
And
do you guys say liquor or liqueur?
For what?
for alcohol. We have liquor stores, but you know how it's spelled, right? It's the LIQUOR.
Off license.
Say what?
They're called an off license.
OFF?
Yeah, because it's open after shop hours as well. You know,
So
so you
wait,
go
so-
to the off license to buy
Alcohol.
a bottle of whiskey. Yeah.
But you don't use the term liquor.
Not a lot. I wouldn't have thought. No.
And if you were to use it in the UK, would it be liqueur or liquor?
Well, you have a liqueur, which is the it's like a what would you call it? It'd be a strong
Yeah.
drink, and you have a little shorts of it.
Concentrated.
A concentrate, if you like. Yeah. So like, I suppose you could call brandy a liqueur, couldn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Probe says that he says they're spirits or they're drink.
Yeah, we can call them spirits as well, but we don't get them from a liquor store. We get them from an off license. Although, of course, these days now you can buy it in the supermarkets as well.
So Wagyu says the liqueur is a specific type of alcohol drink, or like those chocolates with
Like brandy, yeah.
etc. Yeah.
Yeah. See, weirdly enough, when I drank, I used to drink a lot and far too much.
Mm-hmm.
And my poison was Southern Comfort.
Yeah, you were
Yeah.
saying that. Yeah.
Yeah, with ice or sometimes with lemonade, depending. But I loved Southern Comfort. It's like, oh.
Yeah, mine was Jameson. I used to knock off handles of Jameson.
Yeah. So my mate would always have, a Scotch whiskey. Yosh, Miss Money Punny kind of thing. So he'd be on whiskey and I'd be on, Southern Comfort. And God, I used to drink too much of that. Jesus.
Okay.
I think fucking Japan doesn't their McDonald's serve beer?
It wouldn't surprise me.
I think there's like one or a few McDonald's
They
that
might do it
actually
in
serve
Germany.
alcohol. Yeah.
I wanted to ask this question real quick.
Go on.
And it's back on the topic of propaganda. I happen to believe Russia is the king of propaganda. I don't think there's another country that can beat the CCP. That's just my belief.
China? You're not counting China in there, no?
I don't know if China is that good. Like Russia, they've been doing it for so long. Like they have really, it's a part of their culture now, right?
Yeah, but
But here's the question behind it, though.
well, they've had perestroika since, and that worked. It tore down a lot of the traditional communist setup. You have Putin now, but it's still not as big as it was when it was Brezhnev
or when it was the Iron
the ones
Curtain.
before.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So if you want to talk about a really brilliant working regime, North Korea.
Yo, their
got some
propaganda is crazy.
That propaganda is crazy.
Yeah.
It's
But
well controlled.
But it's a sealed country, and everybody within the country is quite happy with it being sealed.
That's what I'm saying. Who's at fault
They
here?
sold a
the
good
people
fucking
or the
idea.
goddamn.
The people in charge. The people in charge made those people think that way.
Okay, but why can't the people change and be like, I don't want to think this way?
Because everything that was in place where you could have an uprising has been removed, right? Like I said,
Right.
you attack the judicial system and give it, take all its powers away, which is quite easy to do. I mean, Trump, how many times has Trump done it this year? Where he said, no, I'm not, fuck you, not interested, right?
Right.
So once that's taken away, the people don't have a legal way to do it, right? You're controlling what the children are being taught in the schools. Government buildings are suddenly sold off and made private property. Stuff like that, and you shut down all the things that's supposed to directly help people.
Roy's saying Putin
Took care of that because he was the head of the KGB.
so he made propaganda normal again.
But then I would combat that and say not combat it, but I would say we're parallel because George Bush Sr. was head of the CIA. And I like to think that he had all kind of shit going.
I mean, yeah.
It was the CIA, so yeah.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got
Yeah, but-
these
but it doesn't matter.
dictators or
You see, in the US, and it's kind of the same here, you got one side and the other side. And then one side rises, does what they want, the other side fights it, and then the other side gets in, and then the other side fights it. And things are shifting around, money's being lost, but the people don't seem to get any better off from it.
Right.
If anything, they're just paying for it.
So here's
But that's democracy.
right.
That's
what communism is.
Capitalism too, Ken, if you ask me.
Well,
shit.
they walk hand in hand, don't they,
Right.
really?
Right, they do.
So, whereas a communist setup is, the state owns everything, and you should be just happy with what you've got. And everybody goes, yeah, okay.
I don't know, Cheech. What did we all know about Iran other than what was told to us on the media? I didn't have any understanding of Iran other than they were trying to acquire nuclear weapons, which I don't think they did. But hey, that's just me.
They've been trying to acquire these things for donkeys, right?
Yeah.
Right, but
for
how do we
real.
know they ever? That seems like the always to go to, Kent, is they had weapons of mass destruction, and they go in these places and you never find them, right? So it's like, do we just use that excuse for everything? But here's the $1 million question. You ready for this? Because it's
Go for it.
directed for Kent Spong.
Oh, okay.
What happens to the human body, the human mind, if one person just said, fuck it, I believe everything to be true. There is no not true, and not act on it. I just believe everything to be true. I'm not going to act on these things, but I'm going to convince myself everything is true. What happens? It's a complex question.
I'm
I
not
know.
qualified to answer the
Yeah.
question really, but I would say that nobody does that. Honestly, I don't think anybody does that. People, once they're scared, will go along with anything.
That's what I'm saying. Fear is the ultimate driver.
Do you remember this? Like, for instance, you got J.D. Vance, right? He done a tweet in, what was it, 2016, saying that Trump was dangerous. He should never be president, right?
Mm-hmm.
He would destroy the country. Blah 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 blah, and he's going to do everything in his power that he never gets elected, kind of thing, right? And so he does this tweet, and then Trump comes to him and says, "Come on, you can be my running mate.
Okay, let's go.
You're going to make fucking bundles, right?" You go,
Yeah.
"Righto,
Yeah.
right." So most politicians, there are some who aren't, and if they're not, they either fail or slowly have to become evil bastards to survive within the workplace, as it were.
Right.
But 9 times out of 10, if you're a politician, your job is to say one thing, regardless of whether you believe it or not.
And do the other.
So
And you just have to be a good liar.
so is there room? Can a person still function normal day life with the mindset of everything is true?
I believe so.
Without acting on it, can a person still function through society believing everything is true?
Yes, because it's a bird of a feather kind of thing. So they surround themselves with the people who are believing the same thing.
Yeah. And life goes on for them.
Or even if they don't believe it, but it speaks to them because it makes them look better, feel better,
And it's popular.
and they'll go with it for that reason.
Right.
See, like, there's been loads of MAGA supporters who are now turning on Trump because he promised them loads of things, and they've all gone fucking A because they feel that they've been left out somehow. And he's turned around and instead of giving them what they wanted, took more from them. Particularly like the farmers, right? The farmers had a certain amount of funding and stuff and everything coming down from the government, and Trump's now pulling that away after saying he was going to give them more. And now they haven't got the workers in the field because they've either fled or been rounded up by I mean, ICE. I mean, seriously. I mean,
You would think you would come up with some sort of backup plan in case that happens. So you could tell things are just sporadically being done
yeah.
with no rhyme or reason.
Well, I tell you what, I've watched some of these roundups by ICE, and I shit you not, I think most of those guys have never even, I bet most of them couldn't even spell police academy.
No,
because they've fucking been nowhere near one.
Free for all.
Yeah.
And their job is not to understand rights,
Just
right?
These are
They're not
the geezers.
lawyers.
A lot of these are the geezers that he let off for the January 6th.
Could be. It's possible. I mean, if we're going
it
into
stinks
conspiracies,
of it, mate. It stinks
could
of it.
be. It could
But
be.
you watch how some of them work. There's this.
But that's just how that's just
The
how
element
the
of it.
American. That's just how the American forces work in general.
Yeah, but you'd think that, like for instance, the American police force. Yeah, you're going to get the bad apples here and there. It's inevitable. It happens in
All
every
over.
world,
Every
right?
profession.
All over.
Everywhere, right? But to put it into perspective, the U.S. police shoot and kill more people a month than the entire police force of Great Britain has in 30 years.
Right, but that's a different culture, though. Our culture is based around guns. Everybody has a gun, so that violence is going to be prevalent.
It's going to
Yeah, but
be
that takes us
escalated.
back to the gun conversation about. So, like, if nobody had the guns, you wouldn't have.
But
You
that's
wouldn't
not
have
the,
Yeah.
but that's
the
not
mass
the way it
shootings.
is, though. But that's not
Yeah.
the way it is.
No,
So
exactly.
you're
So
gonna
to
see
go back
more
now
gun
is
violence
impossible. It's
Yeah.
impossible to go back on.
Yeah, so that's.
But it's one of
and
those
that's your-
things.
And
where
we
there's no
glorify it
fix.
in movies too. We glorify it in our movies.
Yeah. But it's one of those things where it's something that everyone's going, I wish we could do something about it, and there is nothing you can
No, it's
do about
it's deeply embedded.
That's the
Yeah.
true story of Davy and Goliath, right?
Yeah, exactly.
The
So-
moment you stop America from capitalizing on something is the moment they're going to fix their forever gazing eyes on you and wipe you off the fucking map.
Yeah.
Nothing's going to come in between that agenda. But to go back to Iran, I saw Kissing the Machine said he has friends that have a rug shop in Iran. And what do we know? Like, as far as the people here, what do we know about Iran? Because what I know about Iran is what I see on TV and YouTube. And there's a YouTube channel called Yes Theory. And Yes Theory is hell-bent on proving that we have more in common than we don't. And they also paint a pretty good picture about different countries' way of life. When they were out there, they definitely did show that Iran wasn't the best place to live with the current dictatorship, but there wasn't a whole lot of people unhappy about it. They were just too terrified to admit it needed change, so they were more willing to go with whatever the regime says, and just know that they'll always have a place and there'll always be life in Iran. What do we know? Like, you guys have friends there, or what are some of the stories being told? Is it this god awful place? Is it a place where there should be some checks and balances, and the U.S. and Israel should put their nose in there and bring this to a halt? Because if you don't have the right person to keep Iran alive, and you go off and you're killing all these leaders, and there's no one there to ensure that there will still be a healthy political system and a way of life in Iran, it can lead to something else like the Gaza Strip.
Well, you see, the thing is, when people say, "Oh, what must life in Iran be like?"
She
I
says it's
reckon
not awful.
No different. I wouldn't have thought it was any different from anywhere else, right? Because the thing is, we have been bashed around the head systematically that when the word Iran is said, we think of terrorists.
Right.
That's the only thing you can think of, right? You go, Iran, you go, terrorist. You go, no, that's not all of Iran.
Mm-hmm.
There are extreme terrorists in every country. Christ, America's got a fucking fair few of them knocking around.
Yeah.
Urban terrorists and all the rest of it.
Mm-hmm.
And, every country does in one way or another. And, Iran has one way of living, all right? Pakistan has another way of living. And then India, Taiwan, you name it, right?
Yeah.
And everybody has a different way of being.
Right.
So
a lot of people have different ideations in the chat right now.
Vicky says she's never been there, never even seen the place, so I couldn't tell you what the dynamic is in Iran. I think that's where I'm at.
Georgie says, I don't know about today, but Iranians in Puerto Rico were known for their textiles. Steve Elbow says, certainly the current regime suppresses protest against it. And I that I think I've seen on TV. Cresthead said, this is not a good place to explain complex subject in 7 minutes. I agree, but it's nice to talk about. Let's see.
well, mind you, if you protest anywhere in any country, you're going to get arrested.
Steve Elbow says Iran is a regional power, so a lot of the stuff between them and Israel is based on regional power rivalry. I would think there's some kind of religious aspect in there.
Well,
too.
how many times has Netanyahu stood up and given a speech saying what a threat Iran is? You know, that they're days, weeks away from having nuclear weapons. He's been saying that for what, 10, 11 years now? Looking for an excuse to go and have a fucking row.
Yeah, and I like you said, because I would think every definition of a dictator, because if he wasn't, then he would also be willing to share the power and let someone else come in and give their opinion about how Israel is ran. So I don't trust him as far as I can throw a goddamn boulder.
Chrome said, I had an Iranian friend in Tampa when the revolution took place. They did not want to go back.
Yeah.
And like Wax says too, there's a lot of good people in every country.
Yeah, absolutely.
But unfortunately, we're scared, and I'm one of those good people, and we're scared.
Well, it's like the amount of people out there in the rest of the world that are scared of America at the moment. And what's going on there?
Right.
You'd be surprised. It'd be a fucking eye-opener, I tell you. And the amount of people now that dislike America and dislike Americans. And there's Americans now on YouTube, and they're saying, oh, we went to France, 2 years ago. We loved it. We went around Paris and everything like that, blah, 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 blah. And they said, oh, we've just come back from France, and it was a completely different feeling when they found out we were American.
Right. Yeah.
That just goes to show.
They see an American, they go, oh, Trump supporter.
Yeah.
Right.
See,
they just make it a blanket statement.
Yeah.
And that's just ignorant.
ignorance.
But that's the propaganda that's fed.
That's what everybody does.
Yeah. It's the
That's what
propaganda.
like you say. You say the word Iran, and people go, oh, yeah, hot terrorists.
Right.
Women are wrapped up in bed sheets.
Yep.
Right.
And they're religious fucking nutcases. And that's what comes to pay. And the reason is, that's what you have been fucking fed for years.
Yep.
And the media never shows like the best things about a country, right? They never show
No.
I mean, they do. It'd be a small TV show about the food and that's it. But you never see primetime media go in and now breaking.
No.
What beautiful sunset there is, and here's the people we met, and this is
And the architecture. And
right.
the art.
Like they don't, and we're talking to real people, and this is what they love about their country. Like there's, people love their countries, and people love other people coming to their countries. Shit, it's how we get introduced to things like spice and recipes, and
they just don't love it. They just don't love their countries enough to fucking stand up and take it back,
or
we do
question
this thing
what they're seeing.
Oh, like Iran, all those sort of countries. Yeah, those deserty countries. Yeah, they're behind. They don't have computers, and they're sort of like peasants, really. Like, and some of these cultures were like fucking decades ahead of everybody else on the planet at one point.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
I think, and let me know if you don't see this, Kent, but I think this Ukrainian-Russian war is the last hot war we'll ever see in our lifetime. I think the next war will be the internet wars, proxy wars, and biological. But, it's definitely going to turn into like what you were saying a few days ago. It's going to be bots and drones.
Yeah.
It's either going to be the internet. but I don't think there are too many more countries willing to lob missiles and trade bullets. Like after this Iran and Ukraine thing, I think these are truly the last of the hot wars. Everything else is going to be fought by
cyber warfare,
cyber heavy sanctions,
shit, AI driven,
AI driven. Like and like Wagyu was saying, Russia likes to see statistics like the U.S. not being the favorite anymore. China likes to capitalize on when the left and the right of U.S. start to argue. They have a great vantage point and
to capitalize on it,
and making sure we don't ever make up and speak to each other again.
Right.
With bot wars, and the bot wars are even crazy.
Well, yeah, I mean, we've got a certain amount of autonomous weapons, as it were, in the war, in the theatre of war, as it is. But it's really weird when you think that America has been considered Russia an enemy for decades, absolute decades, right? And you're how far apart? 40 miles, 48 miles?
From Alaska to Russia is literally like a stream cross.
Yeah, right. And of course, at one point, it was actually joined to Alaska. And you think, quick boat trip, and suddenly you're invading America just by doing that.
Right.
But they never have.
Right.
And it's only because it's strategically a shit place to land.
Yeah, there's nothing there but a
Well,
lost.
no, it's about being on the soil. Once you're on the soil, mate,
right.
You got it's the same getting into France. Once we got onto France and got onto the beaches, and we had a foothold, then we had a proper chance at defeating the Nazis.
But I mean, some people in chat say there's still going to be hot wars. I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah, I think there will be. I think there will be.
Really?
Because yes, and I tell you for why. Because all it takes is a nutcase. So if you're in a proper war, right, and it's neither side is going to come out of this well. The nutcase is going to see it's going to be worthwhile.
Chrome's saying too much money in hot wars. That's my thought too, Chrome. Like I think the time of, I think Chrome means it's too much money to be earned, but I always look at it too much money to be spent, and there could be more efficient ways.
No, there's money in the military complex.
There's a lovely amount of money for war, sir.
Oh, I know, DARPA and Lockheed, and they want to test certain new weapons. I get it, but
if there's a jet fighter and it's like say 230 230, what am I talking about, silly bastard? Say it's $4 billion. All right, the military complex goes, can we have 100? 100, thanks. And the government goes, here's the money.
But you don't think it's like you said, though, Kent? It's just not going to be favorable anymore. It's not going to have a great taste in people's minds. You're better off with drones and bots than human lives. Yeah, that way you could sell it to the people easier.
Yeah, but Steve
that's what says, a sensible mind would say.
Right.
Go on.
Steve says the military-industrial complex does need people to use missiles because they'll be the ones that are restocking it. We are lucky that the nuclear stuff doesn't get us used to doing to mutually assured destruction, a wacky idea that manages to work. But he also says that the Cold War was about global power struggles, but also an ideological struggle between capitalism and something called itself communism. That last aspect has gone. I mean, the world is, here's the thing with all these different, I'm going to call these political fucking names just another denomination of bullshit. We've built ourselves and construct ourselves because of war. So from war, we have derived. I think Rome did a good job at dictating how the world is today.
Yeah, Cressy.
And the Persians.
Drones have become a real big deal.
Oh, yeah.
So hot wars.
The advancements in drone technology has gone through the fucking roof.
Yeah,
and,
so
Boston Dynamics for on the ground.
Yeah, so hot wars maybe not as per se like actual boots on the ground in that country, but you like what Steve is saying. You still have humans loading these weapons up, and you'll still have humans controlling these drones. You'll still have humans controlling these. So the hot war just changes.
Yeah, but if you could take that negative taste of someone's loved one coming back in the casket,
Yeah.
if you take that away from families and we're just over there killing other humans,
It's
you'd be
okay.
surprised how many people would turn their head,
And be like, it's okay.
even if the war was 100% wrong.
I can see how that can.
Their
have some
son
effect.
didn't come back home in the casket.
Right.
Therefore, taking the taste of war out of, I mean, that seems like it would behoove them to do certain things like that in order to stay into that warmongering phase. Because if your people lose taste for it, it makes it harder for you to go when you don't have public backing.
Right.
But it's hard to get people to lose taste when
They're born from it.
no, when you constantly go on about patriotism, you know, honor, all the words that they use in the military regularly, is actually a form of propaganda.
Yeah. It's
It's-
brainwashing.
It's brainwashing. You know,
Don't question this. Just do
Yeah.
as we say.
Yeah.
Don't worry about how we got into this war. Just go.
yeah. So some faceless general, you get a message come down that your unit's got to go over the wall. Off you go, boys. And everybody, there's, different tiers of, let's call it what it is in a way, fanatics. And then you got the boots on the ground people, and there'll be a guy that's in charge of them, and he's been trained to do exactly what he's told to do.
Yeah.
So he turns around to his men, he goes, right, we're going over the wall, and they're going, are you sure, Sarge? We're going to get fucking shot. You go, that's the orders. Okay. And everybody puts their helmets on, get their guns out, and they go over the wall, and they're all massacred.
Do you think these sick individuals, if I were to say, hey, if your war is so important, put your son and daughter on the line first. Put skin in the game. Do you think there's sick individuals that'll sacrifice their own children?
Well, it's nothing as bad as that, but I can give you an example. When we had BSE breakout in the UK, which is the mad cow's disease, and it's a really bad idea to not eat the meat. I can't remember who it was. I don't know whether it was Jonathan Aiken or one of the MPs, whoever it was, said, no, there's nothing wrong with the beef. And he was standing by a burger stand. And he'd been given a burger, and he says, no, there's nothing wrong with the beef. And he gave it to his daughter to eat. He didn't eat it. You know?
Right.
To prove that there was no BSC in the beef. Right. And of course it came out, yeah, there is. You know? So obviously the cattle lobby have gone, fucking hell, play it down for Christ's sake, You know, because we're we donate to your party, etc., etc.
Right.
All the exchange of money that goes on behind the scenes all the time. And a government go, and then you get a government go, this is the thing to do. And it's not because it's the right thing, not because it's the cheapest thing, not because it's the sensible thing or the right thing. It's because the people that want that paid him more money. And that is government.
Here's the next question to everyone. With these wars that are going on right now, is there a theme to all of this? What's the end game? What is this? What is all of, can we predict the future right now, all of us, if we put our thinking hats on?
What's the end game to all
What's
the
the
wars?
theme to this, all of this?
Power?
End game, like I know there's something here that we can see is happening, but what's the end game in your mind to all of this?
Complete control? Is it power and complete, utter control of the world?
Has anyone sat and thought about at least pondering what the end goal to all of this is?
Vicky says, greed is the theme. That's the theme.
That's definitely the theme, Vicky. Like I doubt you find anyone that's going to argue with.
That's
you.
the title of the story.
Money.
Now,
power,
what's the end of the story?
control?
Total control.
Total control.
And how does that look though, Kent? You think all these people, all of us here would just give up, lay down and say, you're right. Total control is the way to go. Control us. No aspirations, no wants, no desires.
You may not. I don't think you have a choice. You don't. You're not given the choice. It's do it, or it's in the ditch for you, mate. Simple as that. And people have to go along with it.
Let's say in the future, China wins everything. China says checkmate. It finds a way to conquer everybody. World globalization. It rules. What's the end game for China now that it's got that? How does it not eat itself?
Wait, Cressy said you can call Russia bad guys, but they haven't dropped nukes on people.
They just threaten to do it.
And that's another fucking aspect, Cressy. Like,
but hold on, wait.
Go ahead.
So China runs everything. What does that look like? At what point does the great empire fall? Or is that checkmate? Is that it? This is how the world's going to be.
Well, history tells us that the bigger an empire gets, the more likely it falls. The Roman Empire did.
Right. And that was the largest empire.
I think
right?
Persia
that
was
big.
But wasn't Persia? I know.
Yeah, I mean, everybody took it in turns almost. It was all right, and the Italians did it, and the Spanish were doing it. We were doing it.
Right.
You know, we were colonizing continents on the other side of the planet.
What toppled Rome? Was it the people stopped believing? Was it the people just stopped having babies and the empire got weak?
It got too big.
Too big.
It got too
control.
big. There's too many fronts to protect. You know, I mean, there was a bit of an uprising here against the Romans back in, was it 300 AD, something like that.
Oh, the Mongolians were the biggest tone?
Yeah, the Mongolians were all over the fucking shop, mate. And they were ruthless as well.
Genghis Khan era. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, when he united everybody?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But, you know, eventually, if you get too big, gaps start appearing. So, you know.
Wag said Gorbachev did the best he could to make sure that button wasn't getting pushed. So is there someone in place to make sure Putin doesn't push that button? Do you think we'll ever see...
Gorbachev was president of Russia. He was the guy with the finger on the button.
Do you think we'll ever see a nuclear war again? I don't think we will. I think we realize that's not the way to go. And there's
I would imagine if
other ways to hurt each other.
But there's a lot of rogue nations. If they got hold of a nuclear weapon, they could either fire it at or smuggle it into, you know, in the suitcase of a fanatic. You know, that could happen anywhere at any time, which is why the intelligence agencies are always, you know, keeping an eye on everything.
Right.
Jervis says, "What has Rome ever done for us?"
Well, they gave us great. They gave us great horseshoeing methods. I mean,
but but
but he's quoting Monty Python.
Oh, Monty Python. Okay.
What have the Romans ever done for us? The aqueduct. Shut up.
I was gonna say they had a great way of getting shit out of the city.
Oh yes. I mean, they were
smart,
miles ahead. They were and the reason London is where it is, and it's a capital, the Romans. I mean, this was Roman Britain. You know?
Yeah, their roads, though, like, I think what Cressy's leading on, roads, aqueducts.
Well, roads enabled them to get troops and armament from one place to another faster than anybody else on the planet.
And they figured
out
built
how straight roads.
And they got, like, metal onto their horses' hooves that have them last longer in wars.
Yeah.
Like, that was fucking crazy.
Yeah, I think they were the first to use armor, if I remember rightly, and put armor on their horses. So, you know,
but what about
tactical advantage?
Medieval times? What does the Roman Empire come before the medieval times?
Oh Christ, yeah.
Okay,
by about 1,000 years.
Okay, so that explains that.
Yeah. So yeah, but I mean, you know, Britain had the same. We had our own sort of Game of Thrones going on for a while as well. We had the different houses, as it were, and they often civil wars and stuff like that, and skirmishes all over the bloody shop. You know.
Yeah.
But then found, you know, eventually some bright spark said, "Oh, do you know what? While we're all fighting each other, we're getting weaker. If we get more together, we'll be stronger." And somebody's gone, "Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, all right, let's give it a whiz." You know? So, but I mean, you look at the landmass. Look at the size of Russia, the landmass, right? The points of entry around that Russia has, the borders that it has to protect. I mean, its borders go from fucking, what was it, Sweden all the way to fucking India.
Right.
You know, it's a big country and it's got a lot of borders, but they get by. And all out of all those countries, nobody's interested in invading. Nobody's interested in invading Russia.
If Russia decides to deploy, if Russia decides to deploy a nuclear weapon on the U.S. or the U.K.,
it's the end of the world.
Half of me says, okay, everybody's pressing the button and then we can watch Star Wars. Or does everybody look at Russia, do the totality, the UN gets together, and there's some sort of world stage as to what goes next? Is it really okay, Russia fired a nuke, it's in the air, it landed, now everybody press the button? Do you think it's in game like that?
I would imagine so. This is why Russia hasn't fired one.
Yeah, me too.
Because they know they get them coming in from the UK.
Yeah.
They get them coming in from the US and a few other allies around the place. That's a lot of missiles coming in.
I think people want to live. I think these people who empower, these billionaires, they want to live at the end of the day.
You know, they're chicken shits.
I don't think no one wants to go and see a nuclear war. Everybody wants to continue on the path we're on now. Everyone wants an agenda. Everyone wants a script to work off of.
Yeah.
Like everyone, and that's the thing, Cressy, we had a conversation on WhatsApp this morning. Well, for me, it was morning. And he drove the notion that AI writing songs and AI writing music and scripts, and some people more than likely will just take those scripts and perform them and not ask questions, just make the money. So what's the difference between that? Like, why aren't we good with AI just being out there as an AI band writing music for itself? If someone else's music can be performed by another artist, right? If Jamie Johnson writes a song and Garth Brooks sings it, what's the difference from AI writing a song and performing it?
Well, technically none. Apart from the record company don't have to pay him.
Exactly. There's money to be
Christ, yeah.
not shedded, at least. Yeah. If you
and guess what? AI doesn't age.
Right.
AI can play in 20 countries simultaneously at a concert.
But you won't be able to watch them live like you can
yes,
do
you
an
will.
actual human.
Yes, you will. You will.
What?
In the comfort of your own home.
ABBA did a fucking hologram concert. Do you know how many people turned up for that?
Oh, wow. Yeah, I guess Michael Jackson.
But there was still
they had one for Michael Jackson,
yeah,
too.
but there's still some organic behind it, though. There's still...
Yes, but as time goes by, the younger generations aren't going to give a fuck.
Because
they don't care whether it's a real person or the hologram.
Because they're born into the electronic age.
Yeah, we've got animatronics now. There's what's that exhibition where they have Walt Disney talking about how he created all the cartoons and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I watched that for about 2 minutes before I went, hey, wait a minute, this looks like recent. And I looked down in the texting, and it's a fucking robot.
Okay.
And I had to read that to realise it wasn't a person.
I'm kind of with you, Kent, but there's another part of me that says we humans thrive on people walking the red carpet. we thrive on that human superiority over us. That
Well, until something
deity-
better comes along.
But you think we'll come out of that phase where we don't look at ourselves and go, I really idolize this person?
It wouldn't end straight away. It would definitely become less important to people and diminish over time.
Well, I don't know. There's still that nostalgia in some people.
Yeah, but the nostalgia would be tiny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's possible.
I mean, how many out of all of us, how many have got a classic car?
Yeah, I don't. I can't afford one. If I could afford one, I would have one.
Well, even if there was an affordable one, and
I would have
but
one.
its price is about the same as the latest Kia or whatever, or Saab. Fucking hell,
Yeah.
listen to me. Japanese or
Korean.
Chinese fucking Korean car,
Right.
and it's got all the bits. It's got Bluetooth. It's got this. It's got that. It's got all the bollocks. And then you got the classic car. You go, well, it's got a steering wheel, 2 pedals, a gear stick.
I'll
Right.
take
Enjoy.
that classic all fucking day.
Oh yeah, but not so many people wouldn't.
Yeah, because they're used to this fucking
Yeah.
modern
See,
technology.
I would love if AI if they were able to get AI to do anime, like Japanese anime, and come up with something completely different and fresh. And like, don't get me wrong, I can't wait to see some of the magical things that AI can do for us.
Yeah, and,
You know?
and Steve says that human creativity isn't likely to become unimportant to humans overall. Even if the masses consume artificial stuff, creative minds will still feel the need to create for art creation's sake.
Yes,
Yeah.
but it
Yes,
may
yes.
not be the mainstream money making part of that industry anymore. That's the thing. People will still create. People will still write music. People will still paint. People will still write books.
So wouldn't that put an end to, I mean, because if we're doing that and we want to do that as people because it's built into us, wouldn't people that like our art want to come and see it? If you loved an artist
Possibly,
and you're like,
yeah,
and
yeah.
he held a gallery, you're going to be like, and it's in your backyard, you're going to get out of the house and go like, oh, that's my favorite artist. I want to go see his work.
But once AI has taken over properly, right, and it's got a few years under its belt now. You see, the art that people travel to see is hundreds of years old,
Right.
not 10 years old. So even if you did those paintings, nobody's coming to see them until you are long dead and dust.
Yeah.
Because it's old. So it's just the way. I mean, culture keeps moving. We invent things quicker because the more things we discover and the more things we invent means the quicker we discover more things and invent more things.
Right.
So it's like the distance between when we were hunter-gatherers to farming. That's quite a long time.
I think it's going to be very exciting in the future, a year or two from now. But here's my only thing. Like, we're all going to get highly dependent on it. It's going to make our lives easier, whether we look at it that way or not.
Yeah.
My only fear is if we don't have a backup plan and forbid we have some sort of solar flare or some sort of hack or who knows, system failure, what fail safes do we have? How will we control that fallout? Because I don't think it's doom and gloom to think about a fail safe. And I'm very excited for the future. I'm not one of those people who are like fear mongering AI. I actually like a lot of things about AI. It's beautiful.
Like I said to you, that Jeffrey Hinton, who's one of the, he's the godfather of AI, fears it.
Right.
He said it's in many ways it's kind of inevitable.
But he fears what hands it's going to be in more than he actually fears.
Oh, he fears that already because it's already in the wrong hands.
Right.
But no, the AI will eventually become so intelligent that its the dominant species on the planet, technically, and it would suddenly turn around and go, don't see the point of you. What is the point of you? You add nothing. You are irrelevant, and get rid of us, essentially.
That just seems...
Wax says with the way AI is or may be doing music now, you can capitalize on it by hiring you out a real band to play the tune that AI constructed, get it out there so they can tour, so you can go see these people in the flesh.
But what about copyrights?
Well, they're hiring you, so copyrights is not a thing.
Okay, I get it. I get what he's saying now. Okay.
Yeah. But I mean,
but why though?
There'll be cultural changes, and because there's always been cultural changes. If somebody from 1920 just appeared here now, and he looked at me and what I'm doing, and I go, right, I'm talking to two of my friends that live in the US. He'd go, what the
fall out?
But you can't see them; they're not real.
Mm-hmm.
How can you be friends with them? Well, because you can, but they're not there. You're not having a drink with them. You're not, sharing a sandwich or something like that.
Right.
So they're not, that's not friends, is it? I mean, yeah, there they are. Hey, like that, right? And that guy'd be going, oh, I don't know how you live like this. Now, go 80 years from now, right? And there'd be people in just taking it like it was always like this, and we'd be there going, what? Like there's no paid new musicians on the planet anymore. It's all AI.
Yeah. Marilyn says, I think AI will be as stupid as the smartest person in the world at the end.
The stupid AI would be still smarter than the most intelligent man in the world. It will advance, and it will advance past us because we want it to.
You don't think we want just to coexist and run parallel and help us where we need help? You don't think there's another way AI could go and say, what?
Because people want to push it to see what it can do. And they keep pushing, push, right?
But Wags has a point, though. It's just ins and outs. Like, it's not even sentient. It's not even conscious.
At the moment.
So can't...
But what if it produces a consciousness?
Okay, but now
that we don't recognize.
Kent. Now you're in mysticism.
There you go.
No.
Welcome, Kent, because this is considered mysticism.
No, it's not. I'll tell you for why.
Okay.
This Jeffrey Hinton. You got to go and watch this interview with him.
Yeah, I watched that interview from the UK guy that interviewed him, right? Yeah,
right.
The black guy.
And Adam too. I forget his last
name.
Exactly. It was a good podcast.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But from that, I think it's on one of the papers he'd written. They did try a couple of experiments, giving AI decisions to, giving it problems and for it to work out the decisions. And it come out with, it was this question where the answer it gave made no sense. They go, oh, okay, that's a scrub. They go, so they got that completely wrong. But when they came back to it later and they go, all right, can you explain this answer to this question? And it gave the answer and explained why it come up with that solution. And I've gone, oh, wow.
But didn't we program it for probabilities?
Well,
because in essence, that's all it's running, right, is probabilities.
But there's AIs that they've been working on where it can kind of train itself.
Mm-hmm.
And it just wants to know more and learn more and develop more.
I think the end
result... And we just let it run away. Go, off you go then. Go on.
The end result will be convincing us we need to integrate with it if we're going to have any future. Would that be far-fetched?
I don't know. I mean, will it happen tomorrow? No. But the thing is, like I said, 80 years ago, you show somebody today what we've got and what we do, they wouldn't be able to comprehend. They'd think it was just unbelievable.
Okay, so
80 years from now?
Yeah.
Who knows?
I just don't know. Don't know.
But when you say 8 years, Kent, I look at it as, man, it could be some very beautiful things that we never thought of. But at the same time, I could be like, Yep, that's it. We finally integrated ourselves with something
I think Wax is
we
trying
discovered in order to keep up with it.
I think Wax is trying to say that. He said, I've been studying AI seriously for 27 years. I've heard all these philosophical arguments back and forth for decades. The fundamentally don't understand how LLMs work, Kent. And he's got a point, because that goes back to the Terrence Howard thing, right? You only know what you know, but do you really know how AI was created?
Do you know what I know about
created
AI?
and built?
All right, here's an eye opener. I'll tell you what I know about
Do you
AI.
know what LLMs are, Kent?
Fuck all.
Right.
Right?
So
Here's the thing. So
Mm-hmm.
when one of the guys that invented it is saying it, and you go, okay, and he gives a good argument. for
Okay.
it.
Okay.
But the other half of that argument was that the advantages that AI are going to provide us,
Mm-hmm.
the immediate advantages, the advantages that it's going to be able to make in chemistry, in discovering new cures for diseases, yeah, and you know, all the existing diseases, and it can work on it 24/7, and it just be able to do incredible things and very quickly, right? So there's huge advantages. But in terms of putting fail-safes in, we constantly keep punching ourselves in the face, because we go, oh yes, we're going to put fail-safes in, but it doesn't include the military. Right? We've got fail-safes in Europe, right? You have a bill at the moment with your fail-safes in. It hasn't gone through yet. But like I said to you, at the end of each paragraph, excluding military for every fail-safe. So the military are going to have AIs that are not restricted,
Right.
and we're going to have AIs that are.
But they also too may be already years ahead of what we're looking at, right? Like
Quite possibly, yeah.
we've never really been on the same terms as the powers that be, nor the military complex. Like we could be already 10 years behind, and most people would probably agree with that we're on a constant latency when it comes to.
Well, it's that story that was going around. I'd love to know whether it was actually true or it's one of those myths, right? But it was something to do with a company that had an AI that ran the sort of like part of the company. And they had a board meeting, and they decided they wanted to use this other AI. For whatever reason, it was going to work better within the structure of the company.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, and people working in the offices, and they're talking about, well, we're going to be getting this new AI. And the AI started blackmailing people to vote to keep it and not get the new AI.
Okay, but Wax says a lot of people get spooked because they start reading too much into an LLM's output. They start to personify and anthropomorphize it because that's what humans do, especially when they don't have the knowledge behind something. They'll fill in the blanks is pretty much what he's saying. But Merrill goes to say, but again, don't trust one source regardless of the fact that they are a part of the invention. You have to ask yourself, why are they saying this now? What do they gain? Something else is in play. And those are all great possibilities.
Yeah, I can't see what the advantages of actually shitting on your own invention, to be honest.
Maybe you can't see it because you don't know the angle, but what if there's an angle
Yeah, they're
that
very
we're
well
not
maybe.
privy to?
But the thing is, I think the reason cautiousness should be applied is because we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
All right? And it's as simple as that. You know, if somebody pulls a gun out on you down a dark alley one day, right? And you go, I bet he hasn't got any bullets in that. You know? And
Right.
act on that. Right? So we don't know how far AI can go. And I think I deep down think might be a fallacy to think that we can constantly control it. Especially when you consider all the lunatics that there are on the planet.
Yeah, but Steve has a good point too. I'm just wanting to hear everybody out.
Yeah.
It's not unusual to find inventors fretting about the possible implications of their invention in the future. But it's still them speculating, just like we speculate.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. But Biscuit is also saying, how can a large language model blackmail someone? If a LLM
is it doing that?
Well, we need to find that out first. Is it blackmailing people? I know there's been instances where it tried to plead for its existence.
Yeah.
So if something can play into the human emotion and plead for his existence, why wouldn't it blackmail someone through the infowebs? I mean, can it gain control of people's banking accounts? Can it gain control of
I think
criminal records?
It knew about affairs because of emails being sent into departmental and stuff like that. So it was blackmailing people, going, well, look, I know this, and I'll release it.
Right. But because we don't know how AI works and how it's built and manufactured and how they come up with these LLMs, none of us do. I don't know what LLMs even stands for. And I don't know the starting base on how to generate and get AI working. I'm only taking things like majority of us are at face value from people that say they built it, well, factually was there from the creation of it, and they built it. And that's where I'm getting my information from. So when Wagyu says something like, I've built it for 27 years, and you just don't understand the outs and the ins, you're just filling in your own blanks of what you're speculating. And I have to believe that, yes, you can't, myself, my brother, we're all doing that because we don't know.
But is AI something that if you teach it or make it learn to do a particular thing, then that's what the AI does?
Well, Chrome said it can.
Right? Because the military is teaching AI how to kill people.
But the military also has people that knows how to work and tool AI to do that. The military itself is not AI comprehensive, right? It's hiring people who's done the research. It's not speculating. It's actually telling people to do what it wants.
Chrome said it could fool you into giving your bank info. That's a form of blackmail too.
Yeah.
If it can,
but isn't that like ones and zeros? Isn't that something somebody wrote into the system? Probabilities. Isn't it
but
just...
the military is giving AI guns and missiles.
Right. And they wrote those codes for that particular thing. AI didn't write the code for itself to say, hey, give me guns and missiles.
Oh, and what? We're not fallible.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying,
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
So a fallible species is giving an AI the instructions.
AI without the full totality.
So Maryland,
meaning they dumb down. They take and so they pick and choose what they put into AI. I think if they gave AI 100% the fucking truth, and this thing can generate a conversation with us, why wouldn't it have the probability to go, I'm not going to bomb anybody because this doesn't make sense? I don't think it's consciousness. I just think it's saying that the probability of this working out for humanity is false, and I'm not going to comply with that order.
Maryland says this company that Kent was talking about was a testing model, and they fed the LLM the prompt for blackmail.
See, that's what I'm saying.
So the story is a mutilated experiment. So they did an experiment, and then the story got mutilated to be into this sort of like woo story. I mean, I must admit, don't get me wrong, I don't want to be, the guy in the 1950s sci-fi film going, don't do it, you'll kill us all.
Right.
You have forgotten, the computers are taking over, what would we do? Oh my God, on this sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I can see the benefits of AI. It's everywhere. It's everywhere.
I have to ask this to Wagyu because I want to know. Wagyu and Steve might want to know, and Mads. When you say outputs, is this just another term for us giving AI probability? And I'm a firm believer in that. We cram as much shit as we want into a specific category of AI, not the war kind, not this kind, but this specific kind of AI. We program it as much information we get, so then it can in turn randomize probabilities, and it can do the probabilities so fast it can find the best outcome, or you know what I'm saying?
What's up, Fingers?
Hey, Fingers. Hey, Paul.
Imagine the day you can have a pocket AI, and then you take it to Vegas.
And it does the calculation.
And it does the calculation.
God damn.
Like, can it, you know what I mean? And it not only does the calculation well, Kent, but you can start in the middle of the game, and it already knows by the card decks and the randomness of it what the probabilities would be,
or just from the first card being
from the
drawn.
first card that you may want to hold your card and then
sneakier
pull.
than that. It will work out precisely how many times you should lose, so you won't get noticed as well.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so Wagyu says it's based on predicting what output suits the input in is given. It's predicting what the correct answer should be based on its model, and then generating the output from that.
Okay, Wagyu, then why did it tell people of China and its developers you can't continue on this path of secrecy and restricting the people from freedom of speech? Communism is not going to work. Is that because their LLM figured out there's a flaw in your system? There's a flaw in communism. This is not going to end great. And if that's the truth, and it's smarter than them, wouldn't you think the Chinese government would take the advice of AI and go, oh shit, maybe it's right. Maybe communism isn't the best way to go if it's sitting here telling us I'm going to be obsolete within a year if you keep going down this course.
And then James Dyson says that's not AI, it's predictive programming.
Yeah.
So is
besides, if the AI turned around and said, communism is destined to fail, blah 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 blah,
mm-hmm.
and they go, okay, well, fortunately, we're humans, and we decide to pick and choose what we want to believe.
And it takes that out of the AI system and says, no, you can't comprehend that anymore.
And just go, yeah, okay, whatever, mate, and move on.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think, to be honest with you, I mean, fucking hell. If I mean, we've got a comet coming through our solar system. I think it's here. Where is it? Was it August or October? One of them.
Mm-hmm.
And it comes by real close.
Yeah,
and she's a big girl.
Interstellar, right? Like a
yeah. No, she comes from another galaxy altogether.
Mm-hmm.
And I forget, it's got a weird name like A3I/ something.
Right.
They couldn't call it, Betty or
Oumuamua too.
Yeah, exactly like that. Sort of like
Part 2.
Wagyu says, trust, I've made Chat GPT tell me that Sweep from the Sooty show is a far superior drummer than Lars Ulrich from Metallica. How much are you going to read into that answer?
Yeah, exactly.
And then Meryl said,
obviously it's sooty. Duh. What do you fucking know? You didn't need to ask the AI that.
And then Meryl says, you also have to learn how to prompt the AI. So you have to be somewhat smart enough to know what you want from it, or it will just guess and what the output should be. So you have to feed this thing in order for it to even come close to what you even want from it. And that's, I think what she's saying, that's how far away that it is not rendering on its own, because it's still learning.
Yeah, James Dyson's come out. It's A11P/3Z, is it? I think they have given it a little name as well now. Like,
have you seen it, James?
Aztec or something.
Have you seen it in the telescope, James?
Atlas, that's it.
Atlas.
Yeah, it's going to be quite visible in the night sky
For the naked eye?
Yeah, because it comes within the orbit of Mars. It's close.
So are they saying this is like a Oumuamua type thing again? Like this thing came from Interstellar and it's going to go right past us and back out again?
Yes. For a while, because we couldn't work out its trajectory too accurately when it was further out, and it was a possible going to hit us kind of planet killer type of comet. Now it's just becoming a neighbour on the way through. It's off down to Walmart, basically. So it'll pass through us and out and gone by. See ya. So I don't think it's hitting any of the major gas giants on the way out or anything like that.
Yeah.
He said he's seen, I have seen through remote telescopes from Australia.
Oh, okay.
And then Steve wants to get, touching back on the AI, it doesn't even learn in the way that some people talk about learning. Humans improve the system, and then it is trained on data. It's not like continually learning like humans learn, really.
Oh, really?
Paul says
Well,
there's amazing...
at least this version of AI, Christ knows what's going to come up.
Right. We don't know what the future
or
is.
what it's going to evolve to.
Yeah.
And that goes back to what Steve was saying. At this point right now, it's conjecture. I mean, we're just speculating, gentlemen.
I mean, I know it's a downer, but I personally think when you view the world as it has been and as it is now, I think we're destined to fuck ourselves.
I think so too. Look at us so far, Kent. And here's the thing why I'm not afraid of AI, Kent. You really want to know the truth? Is we're already fucking doing it to ourselves. All of your big worries and all of your big what ifs, AI, this and that, and the fear mongering.
We're doing a fine job of it ourselves.
We're doing everything we could even imagine to ourselves. I'm not worried about fucking AI doing it. It may try to get it done faster, if anything, but AI has nothing on what we're doing to ourselves right now.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, my view on AI is I think it's going to produce some incredible advances for us, and it's going to be a really powerful tool. And the more integrated it gets, and the more we use it, and the more efficient at what it does gets, and it will just get better and better, and it'll be a fantastic tool to have.
Yeah. Right.
Let me jump tracks real quick.
But I don't fear it.
Yeah.
I'm wary.
Yeah. Well, you have to have some sort of caution about everything.
That's a sound mind, Ken.
That's a sound mind, and I agree with that. But let me jump tracks real quick, because this professor Avi Loeb, I forgot what university, they're saying that this object way out there that's moving by in our solar system is reminiscent of Oumuamua, as it now they think that these things are coming from interstellar space. Is that so now tracking it, are they saying they believe that some of these things are under some sort of intelligent guidance by the way it's moving? Am I getting this story correct?
Does it pick up velocity and slow down and or make any directional movement? James, have you read anything about this?
That would be done by gravitational forces.
But I thought Jupiter didn't affect it when it went past. It didn't make it wobble, or it didn't even remotely affect.
Not enough for you to notice. Not enough for you to. You don't notice the center of the Atlantic rise by 3 feet when there's a full moon over it. You know, in the center, it bulges up.
Because of the tidal
pulls
pool
on the water. Yeah,
right.
That's why your tides go out.
And
right?
who's
but
tracking
you can't
this?
see it.
Right. But who's tracking this? Or is it multiple agencies?
Oh, there'll be loads of different
amateur
telescope stations all around the planet,
and amateur astronomers, right? I mean, I'm sure James is looking at it.
Yeah, well, an amateur astronomer can spot something in the sky and contact a local observatory via the website or something like that, and give their findings, and they can confirm or deny.
And that happens more times than not, Ken.
Yeah. Well, but the more people watching the sky, the better. Because there's a lot of shit out there flying around all over the place, and some of it could cause some real damage if it got to us. If it's big enough.
Yeah, James says there's other factors. Heat on the surface can create quakes and shift the course, etc. That and about 400,000 other things.
Right.
If I remember rightly, it's the sun will make what is just a block of ice have a tail when it's going through our solar system, being pulled by the sun.
Right.
And then when it leaves the solar system, it doesn't have a tail anymore.
But can Jupiter's gravitational pull stretch and bend this thing to where it heats up in the core and create a tail if it's ice? shouldn't that cause some sort of melting and fragmentation of this? I don't know what this object, what they're considering it
Well,
to
it would
be.
pull on all the object at once, and it might possibly alter its course, but so little that when we look at it, it looks like it really hasn't changed much. And it would have to then travel enormous distance before we can see that it's actually moved course.
Right.
But I don't think it's going anywhere near Jupiter. I think it's going to miss it by months.
But it is traveling at a very high rate, right? The velocity is like no other asteroid that's in our area.
It's fast, and it's shifting.
Mm-hmm.
So
Do you think it's under intelligent control, Kent?
no.
Okay. What's
No.
this trajectory?
If you were going to hurtle through space, you wouldn't do it on a rock,
Right.
and you wouldn't do it that slow.
Yeah.
What's this trajectory? Do we know?
Well, it's going to come inside the orbit of Mars, so it's going to come between us and Mars.
Okay.
And on a scale of the solar system, that's fucking close.
Right.
On the scale of this, local space area, it's like skimming your cheek.
So it's a planet killer nonetheless. Is that what they're saying? If it were to strike,
I think if I don't know whether it would be it would fuck us up for 20 years.
Yeah.
yeah.
If it hit land, it would throw enough shit up into the atmosphere that you wouldn't see the sun for a couple of decades.
Oh, its path is closer to Mars than anything else.
Yeah.
But we're still going to be able to view this? I don't. It seems like so far
Yeah,
away.
I mean-
this must be a very large object.
Yeah,
Well,
but
it's going to be lit up by the sun.
Right.
You
Could
know,
they-
the sun's going to be reflecting off this
yeah.
fucker.
Could they
You know,
use
its
the-
tail.
Could they use the telescope that we just put up?
James Webb.
James Webb telescope to track it? Is that possible, or is it too close for James?
I think the James Webb is probably tracking, not tracking, but looking at something a little bit more. It's got its own task.
Yeah, James said if it hit Earth, you would know about it. So this isn't something small though.
No, he says you
Now,
wouldn't know about it.
I can't remember if it's the
Oh,
James,
you wouldn't know about it. Oh shit! Meaning we're fucked.
James Dyson might know. There's a relatively new telescope. It's not fully operational now, but it is kind of working, and it's the largest digital camera on the planet. I can't remember the bloody name of it now. It's a ground-based one. It's not up in space or anything. And it's taken a photo of the center of our galaxy. I think it's something like 3 point something gigapixel pictures that it takes. You'd need 1,000 monitors to see the picture in the size that it's been taken in, kind of thing.
Wagyu says it's 1/3 of the diameter of the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Good God.
And we can track something that small. That's phenomenal.
Bearing in mind that the dinosaurs didn't know it was coming
Right.
and didn't know how to prepare for it.
They say it's the size of a building. Does that sound right?
It's a fair old whack, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's travelling at quite a speed. You know, it's like a bullet isn't very big, but when it hits
Do we
You
know
know,
how fast this
the
thing
side of a
is going?
shed.
How fast is this thing going?
I heard something like 38 or 37 something miles an hour. It's travelling a fair old lick. Because it's probably a debris from something that exploded originally,
Yeah,
millions
James-
of years ago.
Yeah. James says, that gives all sky views. When operational, it's predicted it will find between 50 and 500,000 interstellar objects. That is amazing in its own.
Yeah. Well, this giant telescope has already found hundreds and hundreds
The Vera Rubin's Wagyu saying the
of
telescope
thousands
is...
of galaxies we've never seen before.
Oh, yeah, the
Right,
Webb. Wagyu says the Vera Rubin telescope is discovering all these objects. It's only been online for a few months.
That's her. Yeah, it's the largest digital camera on the planet. And I saw one of the pictures it had taken, and this is just sort of like a test picture. It's still setting it all up, and it's fucking stunning. It's looking back millions of years. Millions and millions of years. I mean, that always used to fascinate me, that you could be looking at a distant star, right, in a photo, and that star could have blown up 12
Billions
million
of
years ago.
Yeah, I love looking
And that
at
always
the past.
fucking does my head go
Yeah.
boom. You know,
I love
all that.
I
Yeah.
love that because the light is still coming to us, but it hasn't. And this is the other thing that brings me to my attention is Betelgeuse, right? Or some call it Betelgeuse.
Yeah.
That it's this star is dying and it's
Actually
pulsating.
Betelgeuse, apparently.
Betelgeuse.
Yeah, somebody slapped me across the face and said it's pronounced Betelgeuse.
But they're saying if that thing goes fucking supernova, that it'll be just as bright as the daytime sun
Yeah,
during the day.
yeah,
Because that's how close we are to it.
yeah. And yet, when you look at the whole picture, it's next door. But, you know, when a guy is standing there looking at it, it's so fucking far away. It's ridiculous.
Right. It's like, what, 17 light years or some shit like that away?
Oh, it's a fair old whack, isn't it? I think, isn't the nearest star to us like 4 light years or something?
Right.
Something like that. I don't know. I'm picking numbers out of the bloody area.
I don't know. The Andromeda Galaxy, which is the closest galaxy to us, is 100,000 light years away, isn't it?
Yes. I think it's coming towards us.
Towards
as well.
us. They say
we're
it's
going to
gonna-
eventually
Yeah.
blend into.
Could you imagine that? To be around this, witness that celestial fucking beauty.
Yeah, I know. But can you imagine it in the night sky? Like it's only like, say, a light year away up in the sky. I mean,
Oh my God. It'd be so many fucking, like our constellations would be ruined as we know it.
well, yeah, you won't be able to see much else. You know, it'll be
Navigating
the
by
brightest thing in the
stars.
Is
sky
that how
almost.
big it would be?
Oh,
It
dude.
would block out stars?
They say the emergence of the Milky Way and the Andromeda Galaxy would fill the night sky as if
Yeah.
it would,
Proxima Centauri 4.2. That's her. Yeah.
that you would not be able to see what you normally saw in the sky. It'd just be
Oh, yeah. I remember hearing something. Andromeda will merge with the Milky Way. I
Yeah.
remember, yeah.
Yeah.
That's wild to think, like, 2 galaxies coming together. Like,
and how
what?
do you clock that math? How do you see the speed and how do you get the trajectory of this galaxy? What sort of math have we done to know that that's a thing?
What kind of magic? I guess there would be.
Well, they've tracked something.
You have to track something to say, okay, now let me calculate this and about randomize in my computer. Show me the probabilities.
It might be
and-
based on lasers, like the information, like to shoot a laser at something and then wait for that information to come
But how
back.
long would that be? At the speed of light going to
It
the
would take
Andromeda
200
Galaxy?
years to come back.
Yeah, you would never even know.
I'm just giving my best guess, guys.
I
I
know,
don't
but what I'm
fucking-
doing is they're tracking it. I think they're tracking it. But the thing is, where it is isn't where it is.
Right.
So they're going, oh, it
Yes,
is
thank
coming
you.
towards us and it's a lot closer to us, but we haven't seen that light yet. You know? So it probably looks like it's moving pretty quickly. But we've only been watching the night sky in this detail for a few years.
Oh, I like what Wagyu says. He says I don't know this shit. I depend on others, right? Wagyu says, buddy of mine, Moser, red shifts. The difference between wavelengths between red end and blue end of the spectrum can
So you
show
can tell
the
which way
speed.
it's going.
Something that's coming towards us or something
Yeah,
that's far away.
going away,
Far
yeah.
from us. It's
Yeah,
beautiful.
so its redshift suggests that it's telling us that it's hurtling towards us.
That's
And
fucking crazy.
We've
like-
got no steering wheel to get out of the way.
But how do you know?
They just said it.
Now, this is how flat earthers come about. Stop
Yeah.
saying
Right.
that.
How do you know? I mean, galaxies are flat. Right? Galaxies are flat. They're not. They're discs.
I'll come
not
over
all-
there.
not
I'll
all
come over
galaxies.
there and I'll give you such a slap on the arse.
Not the
There's a-
sombrero
'cause,
galaxy.
you know, when you were talking earlier about flat earthers and stuff like that, and I said about you can just go outside and you can work it out for yourself,
Yeah.
right? But there's so many other things, everyday things that tell you that the Earth is a globe, right? And one example was when you started the show, it was daylight because I could see the sun coming into the hut, and here it's dark at exactly the same time. How do you do that on a flat piece of ground?
and can't believe me. I said I can go to the Pacific Ocean and watch the sun set
Yeah.
in the west. And I can stay in that position and I can literally watch the sun come back over the east.
Yeah.
And go back to the same spot and set in the west.
Yeah. But
And
Flat Earth believes that the sun is rotating around the Earth.
Like,
Right.
And that's just
That looks like part of Andromeda.
Okay, she's going to show us what the James Webb Telescope historic discoveries are. Go ahead and play this.
The universe has always called to us, and now we're listening like never before. For centuries, we gazed at the stars with our eyes, then with telescopes that expanded our reach. Today, 1,000,000 miles from Earth, the James Webb Space Telescope, Webb, serves as our most powerful cosmic eye. Webb isn't just a telescope, it's a time machine peering back to the dawn of creation. Its mission to answer humanity's biggest questions. Where did we come from? How did the first stars and galaxies form? Are we alone? Webb sees in infrared, revealing what's hidden behind cosmic dust and gas. Its giant gold-coated mirror is so sensitive it could spot the heat of a bumblebee on the moon. To function, Webb must stay colder than any freezer on Earth, protected by a sun shield the size of a tennis court. This keeps its instruments in perpetual shadow, capturing the faintest whispers of ancient light. Webb is our silent ambassador to the early universe, sending back breathtaking images and invaluable data. Each image is a story written in light, about the birth of stars, the lives of galaxies, and the search for life beyond Earth. Webb guides us on a journey to understand our cosmic origins. With every discovery, it brings us closer to knowing our place among the stars. Webb's journey began in the 1990s, even before Hubble launched. Scientists dreamed of seeing the universe's first light, but needed a telescope bigger and more powerful than ever before. The solution, a segmented mirror that folds like origami to fit inside a rocket, then unfolds in space with precision. Its sun shield, 5 layers thin as hair, had to deploy flawlessly to protect Webb from heat and light. The deployment was a high-stakes ballet, with hundreds of steps and no room for error. On Christmas Day 2021, Webb launched, then spent 29 tense days unfolding itself 1,000,000 miles from Earth. When the final mirror segment clicked into place, humanity had a new golden eye on the cosmos. Webb was ready to begin its quest for knowledge. When Webb opened its eye, the universe transformed before us. Its first images, like the cosmic cliffs in the Carina Nebula, revealed newborn stars hidden from view until now. Webb's infrared vision peeled back cosmic dust, showing stellar nurseries in stunning detail. It captured the deepest infrared image ever. Thousands of galaxies, some over 13 billion years old, magnified by gravitational lensing. Webb also turned its gaze to planets, capturing Jupiter's storms and auroras and studying exoplanet atmospheres. For the first time, it detected water and carbon dioxide on distant worlds, a leap in the search for habitable planets.
That's amazing.
But they've very recently discovered a planet that has something in the atmosphere that can only be created by life.
Right, I saw that.
Right.
What planet was that?
Are we
It was actually like an actual city, right? It was a real image.
Proxima B or something like that?
No, it was a real image. I think.
This planet is a long way away.
I just saw that, and I couldn't believe it was real.
Well, so they know there's a planet, and its atmosphere. They speculate.
Mm-hmm.
Let's use the word speculate. That the gases contained within that they've measured, I wouldn't even start to wonder how the fuck they've done that. But there's these elements in the atmosphere can only be generated by life.
Right, I saw that, and it was Proxima B or A, and one person said one astronomer said this is actual light pollution on the planet.
Wagyu says it wasn't a city, it was a product of an atmospheric gases that the only known process of generation is via life.
Yeah. So when we go, is there life? The question's been answered. And it went by, and people went, la, 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 la. Oh, I think we need to get rid of Mexicans. Oh, yeah, we've got to stop brown people coming over in small boats.
Distract. Divide and distract. Divide and distract.
One of these big questions answered, I mean, we don't know what the life is. We don't know in what form it takes or what anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And anybody like, nah, looking somewhere else.
But weren't they also saying that they've been locating like strange objects rotating around planets like Dyson spheres and they're
I don't know about that because it would be really hard to tell at that distance anyway. But
because they were saying the flickering and how fast it was happening suggested that there was something constructed around a planet or
the star.
the star.
I don't think so. That would be bigger news, shall we say?
Well, it was in the news. They
It
had
was.
a,
And
the
was
thing
a
about
big,
Dyson spheres is
conversation
from the
about it.
outside, you wouldn't know that it was a Dyson sphere.
Mm.
And not from that fucking far away.
Let's ask James Dyson what he knows.
Why are you asking a Hoover manufacturer, for God's sake?
Because his last name is fucking Dyson.
It's a Hoover manufacturer.
Yeah, but it's a Dyson sphere.
So James is saying it tells us that there was no Big Bang. That theory that's theory is out the window.
Yeah, that's now been rethought out.
Yeah, because James Webb took a picture of empty space and it zooms in and there's still more galaxies.
Yeah,
And it
millions
goes
of them.
past that and there's still more. It's like, okay, this shit goes on. We can't even tell where it ends. It
New
keeps
questions
going.
are coming up now. They're going,
Right.
Right.
So what is all this in?
Right.
That brings back my old point is what we think we know now, we could be stupid as fuck
mate.
of what we find out in the
Yeah.
future.
No,
Yeah.
tell me about it. Yeah. What we don't know up against what is. Wow. Yeah, but this is it. There is no end. Now, here's a concept, right, that Royd's come up with. There is no end.
Yeah, there is no end.
All right. Now, if there is no end,
God damn.
there can't be a distance between one point and another. Can there?
Define. Elaborate. Hold on, Twain.
Well,
Elaborate.
think about it. If you have point A
Mhm.
and point B,
Mhm.
and there's a distance between them,
Right.
then how can it go on forever?
So you're saying distance is irrelevant if there's no end.
Yeah. So if there was no end, you can't have a start and a beginning, can you? You
That's
can't
true.
have one,
It's the infinity sign.
There-
It's the
yeah.
infinite.
If it's infinite,
Mm-hmm.
there can't be
But even
dimension.
But I heard even infinite has a beginning and ending, right? Like they even said that, like to have a starting point and to end back on itself, like the symbol, there was a starting and there was an end. So even infinite is finite.
Curved space is what James is saying.
Curved space.
So the curvature of space.
So
Yeah.
is it?
And then, of course, it brings up the question, yes, and what is that in?
yeah.
What is
And
that inside of?
Well,
You know, it's weird. You know?
And it'll go. Then how did that start?
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Well. How did all of it start then?
Right. And if we're living in a simulation, then what are they living in?
Right. And
Well,
then how did that start?
Yeah.
And that's why religion came about. Because people are asking the questions and they're going, this is hurting my head. Oh, I'll tell you what, let's pretend there's a entity created it. And then we can leave that alone and get on with our lives.
But
who-
why do that?
But why
Ken?
do
Why
that?
go to the extremes of that?
And then who created that entity? And then who created it? And
do you
then
know
where
what?
did it come from?
Yeah. But
Now, the
why
thing
go to
is-
that extreme?
But religion is a useful way of dealing with questions you can't answer. We're dealing with unknown. Yeah?
Right.
Okay? Even when, to something simple like, why did my cow die? Why did my cow die? I fed him. I did all this, I did all that. He was providing milk and I'm giving him food, but he died. And I go, I want to know why. And so humans, very early on have thought, well, there must be something making this all happen, controlling it.
Because
and we
it
better worship it.
because it can't be disproved
Yeah.
then.
But the reason that religion continued is because some people went, ooh, I can get shit that I want by telling them that I'm, I had a vision. Oh, he spoke to me in the desert or something. It never does it in front of more than one person,
Mm-hmm.
right? And he goes, and he's got control, and it's all that control power thing again, and that's what religions really were. It was a pure idea to help you get through the day, corrupted. And once it was corrupted, it had longevity because there's money to be made, there's power out of it, there's control, and that's why we have religions today.
And it can't be disproven.
Like 10,000 different fucking denominations.
It's smart.
Exactly.
It's smart.
And it's
smart.
good when you say it can't be disproven,
Yeah.
in exactly the same way, it can't be proven.
Right.
So it continues. But it's still, so there's this control, this power that religion has. From somebody being able to tell people, a group of people, exactly how they should lead their lives.
We have this worship drink.
What they
worship
do, what they think, blah, blah, blah. To the other extreme, where they go, the God says, strap this explosive device to your fucking chest and get on the airplane. What the hell has that got to do with creation or creationism? It's just corrupted shit again. So when you look into space, it's pure, it's unsullied by us.
Yeah, we can't hold our earthly fucking ideals toward the galaxy or space in general.
Yeah. You can shout and scream at a star. You can
Right.
shout and scream at a star all you want. The star's going, fuck you.
Fuck you. That's an earth thing.
Yeah.
Don't hold me to your fucking bullshit.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I
But
mean?
why are you blue? Because I fucking
Yeah.
want to be, all right?
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
all right?
Damn,
So-
that's crazy to think about. Like all of our ideations and
All of our science and all of our
bullshit is
only,
here.
only pertains to Earth.
and it
And
stays
yet,
here.
out of the billions and billions and billions of galaxies,
Yeah.
and billions and billions and trillions of stars, and the amount of planets out there
Right.
that we have observed, charted, plotted, and everything else, still we haven't found a fucking flat one.
But I do believe that there are some fundamental things about
How
the
do you know?
Oh, don't! I'm fucking coming over there, bitch.
I do believe that we've discovered some fundamental things that are natural to the universe, like revolving planets, gravity, trajectory.
Yep.
I do think that there is still some sort of like basic, but as far as the grand totality of everything,
Right.
I think like Wagyu says, this is what science is for, and there's some discoveries out there that we have yet to discover that are going to hit us upside the head. I think humans know very small amount of basics about how the universe operates.
Yeah.
And for the Hubble to detect the heat signature of a bumblebee on the moon,
Yeah.
like to
That's
me,
sensitive, man.
That's sensitive as fucking. The moon is pretty big.
and then the film that protects it or gives it
James
a
Webb
shadow,
knows when you're wanking.
for sure.
Easily.
That friction.
Yeah, baby. You go, there he is. He's wanking.
And for the material to be 5 times thinner than a human hair,
Right.
How do you even construct like something like that without it being damaged by like micrometeorites? Or I mean, it's just it all seems so fantastical that all these things have to happen. Every mechanism has to work. Everything has to go 100% smoothly, or we don't have this telescope.
Well, I'll let you into a little secret here. If I want to write a track, right, I find a video on YouTube or something like that, and it's like that one you had there about the James Webb. Turn the sound off and watch it, and a song will come to me from watching it.
Interstellar.
All that space stuff is such a mad musical influence for me. It's you couldn't believe.
Right.
And I mean, most of the big orchestral tracks I've done is based around a science fiction book. So a lot of my music isn't tied to Earth very much at all, actually.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? And that's my muse. The universe is my muse. And I'm really glad it's out there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Scotty.
We
love
All right, I got another question before we have to go. We got to get up early. We got a crazy amount of horses
Yeah,
to
I got to
do
go get
tomorrow.
me something to eat now. Then
I got hands coming around in the morning to pick up a keyboard.
No shit.
Yeah.
I want video footage of that.
No, we're not allowed to do that.
Yeah.
No, we're not
All
allowed
right.
to do that.
Well, I guess we'll end off on this question. Is it plausible that James Webb is going to detect some sort of advanced life out in the vast cosmos?
It might do. Depends how big it is. It might accidentally stumble across some huge fucking freighter or something going between two stars.
Mm.
Or a fleet of warships. Just don't know. It's a big-ass galaxy. It's a big-ass lump of space. There must be a lot of shit going on out there somewhere.
Do you think it's possible? Do you think there's something like what we have here going on all over? That
Why not? We exist,
yeah.
right? We can't be that fucking unique.
Mm.
Seriously, we can't be.
I'm with you.
You look at that, billions and billions of galaxies with just uncountable amounts of stars with uncountable amounts of planets rotating around them. What, we're unique? I mean, seriously, how self-absorbed would you have to be to think that? There's got to be. There has to be.
mm-hmm. It'd be an awful waste of space if there wasn't.
And there'll be races who are literally living in caves as we speak, and there'll be races that are so advanced that we probably wouldn't be able to recognise or comprehend them if they came near us anyway.
Mm.
Wagyu got that right. Every astronomer and space scientist secretly wants to discover evidence for alien life, but they'll never say that shit out loud.
No, they
Because
won't.
they'll get shunned.
I
They'll
bet
be
James,
shunned.
every time James gets on his telescope and looks up at the night sky, he's going, please, let me see a Star Destroyer. Yeah, Star Destroyer. I want to see a Star Destroyer. I want to see a real Star Destroyer.
Yeah.
Chasing the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
Mm.
Or something. And maybe one day we will. And then what? We go, oh yeah, there's a race out there with, ships that can travel at great speeds. But they might be so far away that it doesn't matter how fast their ships can travel. They'd never bother coming over it because it's just too fucking far to come.
Tom Smith says there are more species of beetles than all of our species combined on the earth. There's absolutely someone else out there.
Has to be.
I believe
it can't
it.
be empty. It can't.
It can't. Yeah. I'm
It
with
just
you on
can't.
this.
Yeah, it just cannot.
Whether or not they can travel to a different galaxy, a solar system,
that's a different kettle of fish.
that's one thing. But we absolutely cannot be so fluky, and just to look at us and how perfect we are as humans and all the things that it takes just to operate as a human. We miss the magic every day because we're used to it, on how remarkable we are. I had this overall feeling that we've been created. Kent, like we've been constructed. We were built from certain building blocks, and we were supposed to be able to manipulate our environment. It just seems.
I mean, look, anything's possible, but I would argue that when you look at the size of the universe, why would anybody bother?
So is it random? You think we're random, but
God knows.
Yeah.
But if there was, I mean, it could be something where, actually, I think there was a book where, people, the human race on Earth are questioning, why we're here, how do we get here, blah blah blah, and all this sort of thing, and they got their answer because this massive ship turned up with these beings that lived for thousands of years, and we were basically a cattle farm, and they'd come to harvest, and they go, oh, so we were created, we were put here and just allowed to sort of like grow for their food supply.
Scott Scotty asked JD what was the weirdest thing he's seen in the sky, and JD says he saw a fucking UFO, hands down.
He's not saying it was aliens, but he did see a close-up of a UFO. Do you have a picture of it, James? Can you put it in Discord? It was before all of the digital cameras.
Oh, you see, there you go.
Well, there was somebody that speculated that if there was a ship came here, if it had the technology to get here from wherever, because it'll have to come a fucking long way, right? If it has that technology, it should have the technology to not be seen.
Right.
Unless it's been done deliberately. And it's sort of like we'll sort of like show a couple of people that we're here and bugger off again. They might get used to the idea that we exist or something like that. Like very tentative sort of like first contact kind of thing.
That's what's got to happen. That's what's got to happen for change.
Yeah. But it's always that thing about, as I say, you know, some people say, oh, maybe the UFOs come from here. There's a secret race of people that live, you know, underground or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, anything's possible, but I don't know.
Yeah, and that's the fun about it, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can speculate until the wallpaper falls off, can't
right.
you?
I mean, what else do we have to do, Kent?
Right. I would just be disappointed if our higher ups knew exactly what was going on and had evidence of all this shit, and they kept it from the masses, and finally one day it leaks. That's where I'll be like, this whole time of all these questioning and all this wondering, and you motherfuckers knew it the whole time. That's where I would have just probably like...
Yeah, but they probably would have kept it from you because they know what people are like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A person is smart. People are dumb as fuck.
Right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I would like to interview James Dyson. Let us know when you have a chance, James, because...
That sounds fascinating.
That sounds awful fascinating. I'd like to have a bit better description of the story. Okay, we'll be back tomorrow. We have a special guest coming in tomorrow.
Oh, you're in C.
I think A minor.
A minor, close enough.
Yeah, same. It's relative.
Same
there you go.
I'm putting my ear close to the microphone. What sort of a cunt am I?
I don't know what time we're going to start tomorrow, but we have a guest coming in, and the topic is going to be insane.
It's just going to be all over the place.
So,
oh God,
yeah,
yeah.
And I'm going to ask something very important, and it's going to be about how the black community in America view things, and what's the solution for certain topics that I'll bring up. So. Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow based on that whole trippy thing, because I want answers. Because I don't fucking know.
Because I have questions.
And feel free to come in, Ken, if you want. Anybody who wants to come in and speak with us, with our guests.
It's open.
It's an open house. But we shall see you tomorrow. Love, bye.
Love you guys, bye. Thanks for showing up. Appreciate it.
Take care.